Everything has led to this. In 2018, we began experimenting with a new game.
Banana ball.
Banana ball.
We introduced new rules.
Caught by the fans! Showdown!
Only in banana ball.
Introduced new teams.
Wildest, craziest group of animals!
Pushing the limits of sports and entertainment.
Unreal! I ain't never seen it before!
But now, we're entering a new era of banana ball.
This thing's epic.
We've been training for this!
It's gonna be unbelievable.
And it all starts tonight.
Gone! Game on the line! Are you kidding me? This one! That's it! Yes! 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 It's over! Unbelievable! It's a walk-off! Tip the cap, young man! You have witnessed greatness!
The future of banana ball starts now. Welcome to the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft. Tonight, some of the most talented and entertaining players in the world come together. Tonight, a select group of players will get the opportunity of a lifetime. For some of those players, you may be familiar with them, as they've put on a show playing banana ball all over the country the past few years. For others, you may not know them yet, as they make the leap from baseball to banana ball. But they all have something to prove. And tonight, they wait for someone to take a chance on them to show what they can do on the right stage at the right time with the right game. This is their time, and this is their game. Tonight is where it all starts. This is where banana ball stars are born. This is where dreams come true. And this is the Banana Ball Player Draft. Start the clock. It's showtime.
That's how you set the tone right there. Thank you, Jesse Cole, and welcome in everybody to the first ever Banana Ball Player Draft. Tonight, 40 players will find out which teams they are playing for in the inaugural season of the Banana Ball Championship League. I'm your master of ceremonies, Biko Scala, and what a star-studded crew I have on the desk here with me. Josh Talevsky, Drake Toll, Zach Staten, and Brett Loftus. Couldn't have crafted a better group up here for this momentous occasion. Now, before we get into the action, let's take a look at these draft rooms, because our entertainment crews have done a miraculous job setting the scene and creating these fantastic vibes for the 6 teams that will make up the inaugural Banana Ball Championship League season. Now, we'll be checking in on these rooms consistently throughout the night, but for now, let's talk about how this whole thing is going to go down. So every round is going to open and close with the Clowns and Coconuts picking. Once it gets to the 3rd pick every round, it's the Texas Tailgaters, as they got knocked out in the semifinals and had a worse record than the Savannah Bananas, who will be picking 4th every round. Then the Firefighters pick 5th, as they fell in the championship to the Party Animals, who pick 6th. And Brett, let's talk about how the Clowns and Coconuts will be shaking it up every round.
Yeah, the Clowns get the 1st overall pick of the draft, and in the 1st round as well, they'll also get the 8th overall pick. So in the odd number rounds, the Clowns will go 1st and 8th. In the 1st round, the Coconuts will go 2nd and 7th. That will flip in the even number round. So in the 2nd round, the Coconuts will be 1st and 8th, and the Clowns will be 2nd and 7th. Zach.
And Brett, they'll have 2 picks in each round, and that is because the 4 established teams already have 11 players in their roster because of the franchise picks. The Clowns and Coconuts have nobody. They're starting from scratch. They have to get to that magic number of 22 players on the roster, so they'll have 2 picks each round to make sure they get the necessary numbers.
Zach, over 100 players woke up this morning having no idea whether they'd be drafted today, be playing Banana Ball, drafted tomorrow, wondering. They're sitting right now watching live. Will I go? But for 44 guys, they know exactly where they'll be. The 4 teams that are already established in Banana Ball were franchising 11 players each, but you, the fans, had 3 guys that you got to lock into each of these rosters, from Zach Bridges to Dalton Ponce to Kyle Jackson. They weren't guaranteed a spot on their teams. You, the fans, gave them spots on these teams. You see pictured here everyone who will remain with their squads from 2025 going into 2026.
Well, now we go from the protected players to the top guys on the board. It's a diverse array of talent, and it starts with some Banana Ball veterans. Correll Prime, the best two-way player available in this draft, can both pitch and hit. Eric Jones Jr., a World Tour player since 2022, your best catcher. You've got some rookies who are your best infielder and outfielder in Bobby Leday and Ben Parker, super athletic cats. And then Drake Fontenot flashed so much potential in his short spurt with the visitors. He's my top right-handed pitcher. As Drake said, we've got guys all over the country hoping to hear their name called. We got some video from Ashby Vining watching in with a really terrific crew. Ashby should be picked in the first few rounds tonight. And how about all those folks supporting the visitors catcher, who was one of the best players in those 5 games that the visitors got to play. And now walking up to the podium, head coach of the Indianapolis Clowns, Eric Fox, with the pick, handing it off to Jesse Cole. We find out who the Clowns start this thing with.
With the first overall pick in the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Indianapolis Clowns select Jackie Bradley Jr.,
What?
outfielder and World Series champion from the Boston Red Sox.
Well, this is an absolute shocker. A guy who was literally not on the board whatsoever. The Indianapolis Clowns, Banana Ball's newest franchise, make an absolutely sensational pick and grab a former Major League veteran, a World Series champion in Jackie Bradley Jr., unbelievable defender, an all-star. I cannot believe he's joining this team.
We didn't even know we didn't know this was possible.
Is this
Are
legal?
you serious?
Can we-
Jackie Bradley Jr., College World Series champion, twice at South Carolina, a couple of World Series rings with the Boston Red Sox. This guy was my childhood, and he's going to be with us in Banana Ball next year, guys.
Is our legal team good with this? So I'm getting a thumbs up from Jesse Cole. We're good. Josh, I'm shocked you didn't have him number 1 on your big board. I'm not sure where he
If I
fell.
had known he was available, he would have been.
The former Hyannis Harbor Hawk makes his way to Banana Ball.
We saw him in Boston. He played multiple positions for the Bananas, a golden batter at one point. Unbelievable.
Zach, can you measure, make sure that my heart's okay?
I need to
Can
go
you-
to a
My
hospital.
heart's beating out of my chest here,
I
guys.
can't believe this.
Oh my gosh.
A Savannah Banana played with
Zach.
the Bananas in Fenway Park. Crowd went absolutely wild. We've got to hear from Eric Fox. He just picked somebody who wasn't one of the 161 players on our board. Sam Bauman, what's happening?
Yeah, Biko, he's been all smiles since he walked off the podium laughing. I can't even get the words out here. Jackie Bradley Jr., your first overall pick. Talk about adding him to the Clowns, the first ever player for the Indianapolis Clowns.
Dude, that's JBJ, man. Freaking South Carolina legend, Boston Red Sox World Series champion. Fans, if you weren't excited about the Clowns before now, you need to get excited because we're coming in hot. 2026 is going to be an exciting year for Banana Ball, and I look forward to seeing all you guys out there this year.
Take a moment, take it in, guys. This has just begun. Let's keep this thing going, guys.
I'm not going to finish being flawed by this until the night's over. I mean,
This
like,
is ridiculous.
gobsmacked. I can't believe this was kept from the 5 of us.
Biko, this is pick 1. We have 5 more rounds of this. Imagine what other surprises are in store.
Michael Jordan played a little baseball. I don't know if that's pick number 2 here, but anything's on the I told you guys, 4 minutes before the draft started, this should be chalk. We should,
Right.
there shouldn't be any major surprises based on all the mock drafts we've seen. This is the surprise.
This is the happiest I've ever seen Jesse Cole. I just want to peel the curtain back at home. This is the happiest I've ever seen.
He's a happy guy. He's a very happy guy.
He's going wild behind the scenes. We do have to keep the draft moving. The Loco Beach Coconuts have their pick. Mark Crocco, their head coach, strutting up to the stage. I don't know how you top JBJ, but we've got a lot of talented players Crocco could go with here.
With the second overall pick of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft and the first pick ever for the Loco Beach Coconuts, they select Drake Fontenot, right-handed pitcher.
Heck of a way to start your team. 6'5" righty out of Bossier, Louisiana, the 2025 Gulf South Conference Pitcher of the Year. Dominated the Bananas right here in Grayson Stadium as a visitor. 5 scoreless innings, 4 strikeouts. He has a record for Delta State, 39 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings pitched. That's the 5th longest streak in all of D2 history. He is a stud, and Crocco's got his ace.
In his final collegiate season, he was a 9-3 with a 2.50 earned run average. Then he came into Banana Ball and was still as dominant. We had the pleasure, Vico and I, of seeing Drake Fontenot toss 5 scoreless innings against the Bananas right here in Grayson Stadium. Over 300 strikeouts in his collegiate career, and I project him to have one of the top strikeout rates amongst all the newcomers in Banana Ball next season.
Shocker. The #1 pitcher and my top 5 pitchers is the first pitcher taken off the board. I mean, Mark Crocco gets one of his guys, like we said. You guys talked about the stats and the stuff. Also, really good human that we got to interact with the 2 months here in the visitor. Absolutely wonderful pick there.
Yeah, I think Drake Fontenot was the clear visitor to come in day 1 and be a first round 1-1 for the Coconuts, at least. This is a guy that the Coconuts can rely on and build as their ace.
Look, all of the visitors came in from a pitching standpoint, had amazing resumes, but Drake Fontenot was consistently Crocco's ace throughout those 2 weekends.
Speaking of pitching, that's exactly what the Texas Tailgaters need as we look at our 11 franchise guys here. Obviously, you see the 3 fan franchises, Jonathan Sunshine Looters, Taj Porter, Indiana Stanley. What you're not going to see on this list is a whole lot of arms. The only 2 arms that were franchised were 2 southpaws in Christian Davis and John Reed, a starter and then your closer from last year. I would have to like to think that with this 3rd overall pick for the Texas Tailgaters, they're going to go with an arm and a big-time arm here for Joe Mikulic's squad.
And the boys are fired up. They feel like they've hit it out of the park. They are running in here with some serious energy.
I hadn't seen Bartman ever run like that. Look at him go, man.
Nick just said he got their guy.
Let's go! Tailgater Nation! With the 3rd overall pick of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Texas Tailgaters select Chris Clark, right-handed pitcher. Woo! Let's go!
You bet. We just got our guy, Chris Clark, a 5-year minor leaguer in the Cubs organization, a dude who was an All-American at USC. The stats speak for themselves. This guy on 3 separate occasions was a phone call away from being in the big leagues with the Chicago Cubs. But let me take you to this morning when he called our coaching staff and he told them, pick me. I'm going to throw 100 innings for you next year, and I'm going to be your ace. And here at the 3rd overall pick, you got arguably the best pitcher in this draft, a guy who's going to come in and be a leader with professional experience, and he's a dude, an absolute dude, Vico Scala.
Question for the statistical savant, if I can, Josh. As good as he is, as great as the resume, you're going your 3rd overall pick here out of the draft, but no Banana Ball experience. How do you build him in these next few months into a Banana Ball?
I mean, I think you're going to work with him from an entertainment standpoint for sure, but he's got the makeup to dominate in Banana Ball. He had a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk rate in the minor leagues at one point, was the number 14 ranked prospect in the Cubs organization. He is a stud for this squad, and you know what? He's a facial hair connoisseur as well. I think that's going to fit really well with the Tailgaters vibe.
And he's a brand new father. He welcomes a 2-month-old and his new wife to Banana Land. I can't wait. Speaking of bananas, you guys up next.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be very similar for the Bananas. First, we'll take a look at the protected players for the Savannah Bananas. Unsurprisingly, the social media stars dominated that fan franchise. Kyle Jackson, Jackson Olsen, and Robert Anthony Cruz, all protected by the fans. And then the Bananas went very position player heavy and even kept their best locker room guy in Ty Jackson, somewhat of a surprise keeper, but Tyler Gillum, Adam Byron saw it as a necessity. So, Brett, the Bananas are in a very similar situation to the Texas Tailgaters. They've only got 2 pitchers on the roster right now, and I would expect them to go with more pitching here in the 1st round.
Coaches of Banana Land, I am Tyler Gillum.
Tyler Gillum? Tyler Gillum is 7 feet tall.
Yes, I've heard. Recruits Banana Ball players by the hundreds. And if he were here, he would draft the most talented and entertaining team in the world. I am Tyler Gillum, and I see a whole field of warriors here in a defiance of normality. You have come to draft as free men, and free men you are. What will you do with that freedom? Will you draft?
Draft? Against that? No, we will pass, and we will win.
Oh, draft. You may lose. Pass. And you'll win. At least for a couple games. And sitting in the dugout many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the draft picks from the 1st to the 11th for one chance, just one chance, to tell our opponents that they may take our entertainment ideas, but they'll never take our draft picks? Let's go. With the 4th overall pick of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Savannah Bananas select Austin Drury, left-handed pitcher. Let's go, baby!
How about that? 4 pitches into the draft. The top 3 pitchers on Josh's board are all taken. The Nanners go to a guy with 5 years of minor league experience, all of them coming in the Dodgers farm system. In the last 3 years, he was in the American Association with the Sioux Falls Canaries. Listen to this for some consistency. Career 3.35 ERA across nearly 200 innings pitched in the minors. Career 3.94 ERA across over 200 pitched innings in college. A career 3.81 ERA in 125 innings in the American Association. This past year, the coaches said he's disgusting.
Look, he may not have been the #1 overall pitcher on my big board. He was my top-ranked lefty, and the Bananas just got a co-ace with Noah Nisnik. The thing that stands out with Drury, a lot of those numbers in the minors were when he was pitching in relief. Then he was mostly a starter in indie ball and was just as successful. The Bananas have some options with him, but again, I project him in this rotation.
So cool to me. The numbers are obviously there. The resume is there. He's sitting at home in a restaurant somewhere with family and just got drafted in the first round of the Banana Ball draft. You went from out of the sport to being a Savannah Banana, a coveted spot for the big lefty. I think Austin Drury walks into this sport and it's an instant impact guy.
And guys, we were all shocked. The whole world was shocked with the 1st overall pick, and Jackie Bradley Jr. has not been a shock since. Pitcher, pitcher, pitcher. We know in Banana Ball you got to have arms to win ball games, and the Firefighters had some big arms in the postseason.
You want to talk about shocking? The Firefighters shocked the Savannah Bananas in the World Tour Championship to make it to the championship game. The Cinderella story of the postseason maybe has the biggest Cinderella story of the fan franchise vote, with Zachary Bridges becoming one of the 3 that you at home picked to stay with the Fire and the Flames, but that means there's some numbers games that come up. No longer do you see Joe Lytle's name on that list. Dakota McFadden, a leader in this clubhouse, is not on that list. There's a clear hole at first base. They do need a couple of corner outfielders. They kept 4 pitchers, so they don't necessarily need it immediately, but they could always use a different arm. I think here there's a couple of names they could go with as the sirens are sounding here, and that means the Firefighters pick is in. There they are, Val Perez, Corey Pye, Drew Yanesta, bringing a 28-foot ladder. That's 3 Andre the Giant stacked on top of each other. Val is going to go to the top of the world here after going to the top of the world in the playoffs. Val, please be careful as you make the Firefighters' first pick of the evening.
With the 5th overall pick of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Firefighters select Eric Jones Jr., catcher, first baseman.
When Josh Talevsky tells you he would take a player with the 1st overall pick and he's available for you at 5, you do not pass him up. Eric Jones Jr., the most prolific hitter on this board throughout the draft. I had him as my top-ranked catcher. Position versatility, Josh, can play first base. I just said they had a huge hole there. He can chase trick plays. This is exactly who the Firefighters need. Josh, you said he was a perfect fit.
I mean, he's got the most prolific resume of any position player available in this draft tonight. 29 career home runs, 138 runs batted in. And Zach, the Firefighters have also guaranteed themselves probably 60 to 70 trick plays at the first base position. And now you've got Dalton Cornett, Zachary Bridges, Eric Jones Jr. They're all options to catch for your squad as well.
And by the way, this is the first time we've seen it in this draft so far that one established team has taken another player from another established team. The Firefighters hurt the Bananas with a pick like this, and you just said it. Imagine this. Your corner infielders are Logan Lacey and Eric Jones Jr. That is a mighty fine way to start your draft.
You also mentioned how this is the first time that an established player has been taken to another. There's the reaction from the Savannah Bananas.
I'm so sorry, Reggie. I'm so sorry.
Reginald Horton finding
but
out
Eric
the first
Jones
time.
Jr., we had to have him in the Fire and the Flames.
Yeah, that was the right pick, and the Bananas, the first to fall victim of one of their guys being pulled away. The Party Animals tonight want to completely avoid that. Their entire goal is to go win another championship, in my opinion, with the same guys they utilized last year. When you look at the way the fans franchised, the way the team franchised, Tanner Thomas, Noah Fisher, Jake Skoll, Reese Hampton, the outfield is set and then some. Bryson Bloomer, not on the graphic. Dustin Baber, not on the graphic. Some of the premier relief pitching, not on the graphic as guys that were able to franchise in that 11. I would be fully surprised if Mike Vivacis and company do not go with their guys that just won you a title. Everybody else is chasing you. Why not keep the roster as close as you can get it? And there he is. Wipe him down. Mike Vivacis, the most recent champion in Banana Ball. Winner of the 2025 Banana Ball World Tour with these Party Animals. Can he retain the roster that brought him glory in this sport? Where does he go with his first pick?
With the 6th overall pick of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Party Animals select the team heart, the hot corner, Bryson Bloomer, third baseman.
Bryson Bloomer off the board. Zero surprises. This is the easy pick for Mike Vivacis, a guy who's dubbed Coach Bloomer seasons ago, walked into the Party Animals locker room and became one of the guys. When they call up the huddle pregame, Bryson Bloomer is in the middle of it. And the worry for everyone in that locker room to Mike Vivacis is that he would be off the board by pick number 6. With him still sitting there, it was a no-brainer. He is in the black and pink to stay a team leader, a proverbial team captain. Bryson Bloomer remains a Party Animal. This is a key pick for the heart and soul of this team.
Well, not only is he Coach Bloomer, but way back in 2023, he rightfully earned being part of Bingo Bangoing Bongo with Reese Hampton and Jake Skoll. The guy is a great bat. He's a team-first player. We saw him really elevate his OBP skills this past season. And you know what? 160 trick plays in his career as well. So they keep that consistency over at the hot corner.
Yeah, you take a look at the Party Animals draft room. Look, there was no surprise. There was no question. They wanted Bryson Bloomer with their first pick. Anthony Coromato, Thomas Simino, excited to get that guy. And I know he's excited. He posted this week saying, I'm praying that the Party Animals are my landing spot again in 2026. That's the case for Bloomer. I think Party Animals Nation rejoices with this pick.
A legend of Banana Land, a 2-time CPL champion with the Savannah Bananas, a 2-time champion here with the Party Animals at 23 and 25. He led that 2023 tour in RBIs. He led this 2025 tour in stolen bases. He is such a smart ball player. He continues to retool himself and reimagine how he can bring value to this squad. And the Party Animals, they got their guy. No surprise there. Now Mark Crocco and the Coconuts back on the board. They grabbed Drake Fontenot, so Crocco's got his ace. It'll be interesting to see if he goes for more pitching or if he tries to get an offensive leader for his squad here. And here comes Crocco, a new accessory for pick number 2. It's going to be our 7th pick here in round 1. Showing off the squats. Crocco, who's the pick going to be?
With the 7th overall pick of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, and the first position player ever for the Loco Beach Coconuts, we select Ben Parker, outfielder.
It's a great snag for the Coconuts. The pride of Los Altos, California, was an unbelievable performer at the LA tryout. Just look at the footage. Backflip catch, nails it. Third pitch of the workout, he hit a ball over 400 feet out to West. He spent his last 2 years at college at William and Mary after spending the first 4 at Whitman. A career in his college career. 371 batting average, 477 on base percentage, 645 slug. The guy might be one of the best players in Banana Ball. I think he will be in 2026.
Biko, I was talking to somebody in William & Mary's baseball program over the last couple of days about Ben Parker. Here are the words they used to describe him. Responsible, smart, detailed, organized, and an athletic freak. And you see that in his tape. You see that in the numbers. Going to hit 407 on top of being able to ride a unicycle and already hit a backflip catch.
The thing I love about this guy the most, he played Division III ball for 4 years at Whitman College. Then he went to William & Mary. He was loyal to the only school that recruited him, even though it was a Division III. And then he goes to D1 and hits over 400. I mean, you're getting a high-character guy, which we know Mark Crocco's going after, and you also got one of the most prolific hitting outfielders in the whole draft.
Yeah, 498 OBP last season. He was in my top 3 for outfielders on the board altogether, whether they had Banana Ball experience or not. Ben Parker, at this point for the Coconuts, instant leader. Great. Everything about his resume screams first-round pick.
And I do think it's interesting, too. So far, the Coconuts have 2 picks. They have not picked anybody with real, legitimate experience in Banana Ball. Interested to see what they do as we go into round 2,
But
Josh.
look, Mark Crocco just picked the best pitcher on the board, and he grabbed the best outfielder on the board. I've got to commend him for a masterful draft so far. It feels like he's really winning this first round. And Ben Parker, really athletic. We know he can backflip. Crocco told me in a meeting that he wanted a guy who could backflip on his team, and he got a stud outfielder.
2 William and Mary records, career 488 on base percentage, a 34-game hit streak, the longest in that school's history. The final pick here in the first round, Eric Fox. Give it to us, my friend.
Now, with the 8th pick of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, to make the selection, please welcome the first entertainment player in Indianapolis Clowns history, the fastest man in Banana Land, Flash the Kid!
Come on now. And with the 8th overall pick of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, your Indianapolis Clowns select the right-hand pitcher, first baseman, Correll Prime.
Well, not only do the Indianapolis Clowns get their first ever entertainment player, the most prolific designated runner in Banana Ball's history, they get the guy with the most prolific minor league resume in this Banana Ball draft. Correll Prime, spending time in the Colorado Rockies organization, was the 2014 Organizational Player of the Year, and has come into Banana Ball and been just as great. An excellent first baseman, a good hitter, and a guy who threw over 70 innings on the mound, and everybody just respects what he thinks about the game of Banana Ball.
You know, Zach brought this point up about the Coconuts, about how they haven't taken anybody with real Banana Ball experience. Well, the Clowns have taken a couple guys with some elite baseball experience, guys. Jackie Bradley Jr. and Correll Prime, who also has a year and a half of Banana Ball experience on top of all of his previous professional baseball experience.
What a combo.
Man, Eric Fox is filling out a roster after the first round, guys.
Are you kidding me? You just saw it in the highlight reel, too. He started as a visitor. This guy had to earn his spot in Banana Ball, walk through the front door with the development team, started from the bottom. Now he's teammates with Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah, and one of my favorite parts of this is now he gets to potentially hit against Dakota Stilts Albritton again next year, who struck him out in Indianapolis when Prime was a visitor. They have a lot of laughs about that. Stilts will never let him forget it. All right, let's take a look at what just happened in the first round of the first ever Banana Ball Player Draft. With
Hi, Reggie.
Our guy in the background. Reg taking a look at the draft rooms. JBJ off the rip, then 3 straight pitchers in Fontenot, Clark, and Drury. EJ at number 5. Bloomer back to the Party Animals at 6. Ben Parker, Josh's number 1 outfielder, off the board at 7. And then the Clowns take another phenomenally talented former Savannah Banana to wrap up the round.
Yeah, this is an amazing first round. It feels like every team honestly nailed their picks tonight. And not only did the Clowns get another big bat in their team, but they got a right-handed pitcher in that as well. So it's not like they stacked their team with 2 position players. They still got an arm out of this equation.
May I nominate a early surprise of the draft, please?
Surprise of the draft, surprise of my lifetime.
I've got a guess here.
Possibly Jackie Bradley Jr. going first.
I think I had an
overall.
out-of-body experience when that was announced. Jesse Cole pulled a fast one on us, folks.
That's great.
Oh, our fearless leader was jumping around like he won the lottery, and I think he did.
I think he
because-
did. Jackie Bradley Jr.'s a banana ball, guys. I mean, unreal.
Okay, all right. Let's listen in. Malachi Mitchell is on the Indianapolis Clowns. Rex Castillo has him.
Guys, what a night it has been for the Indianapolis Clowns. Let's talk about this guy, the first entertainment player for the Clowns. You get to revitalize this team, a historic team in baseball, and at the same time, you also spend time in HBCUs with Florida A&M and Savannah State. What does this mean for you?
This is absolutely unbelievable opportunity. Since I've started playing baseball, I've always been a part of history. Coming out of high school, being the first and only black baseball player to graduate and get a scholarship to go play college baseball out of there. And then obviously making history at FAMU, winning a championship in 2019, and then going to Savannah State, and then coming here and obviously being with the Bananas, and now being able to come here and remix the Indianapolis Clowns. I think it's going to be absolutely unbelievable and way too much fun.
We cannot see what happens with the Clowns after this. Thank you so much for your time,
Yes,
Flash. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Guys, back to you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Rex. No time to waste. Time to kick off round 2. As it's an even round, it means the Loco Beach Coconuts get it started. And here comes Mark Crocco. He's got his ace. He's got the best outfielder in the draft, according to Josh Tolevsky. Let's see what he goes to with his third pick.
With the first pick of the second round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Loco Beach Coconuts select Tanner Allen, outfielder.
Wow, Mark Crocco trying to get the best outfield in Banana Ball. This is a good step to it. The kid out of Theodore, Alabama, the 2021 National Player of the Year, helped Mississippi State win their only national championship, a proven winner, and what a resume.
And this is our guy, man. I mean, Drake, let's take the folks back and peel it back. Starkville, Mississippi. We follow each other on Instagram. I say, hey, Tanner, would you like to join us in the broadcast?
Humble brag.
He's the guy that wears the fur coat. I'm the guy that wears the cowboy hat. He says, sure. Tanner comes up there, and Drake and I go, man, you can still play a little bit. You were in minor league ball, and, obviously you can entertain wearing an Elvis costume to his tryout. We said, how would you like to do this? He said, I'll think about it. Next week he texts me, he goes, were you serious? I said, yes, we get the player pool, and now he's a Loco Beach Coconut, Drake told.
This is my number 1 outfielder on the draft board. Some people had him at 4, some had him at 5, some at 6. I thought number 1 because of the resume. And a big piece of this, 2025, he took off to train, didn't play baseball. He's coming back into sport. I don't think it matters when your resume looks like that pro ball experience with the Marlins. And again, that storyline. He was in the broadcast booth, on the air with us, and we almost jokingly said, hey, what do you think about Banana Ball? Would you play? And he said, yeah, I'd think about it. Now he's off the board in the second round of the 2026 Banana Ball draft. It all started with a Brett Loftus DM. I've heard that a time or two.
Well, look, Tanner Allen was the number 23 ranked prospect in the Miami Marlins organization. He's an excellent player. I'm a little wary of the fact that he wasn't playing professional ball in 2025. Nonetheless, we built some projection models, ran them on Tanner Allen. We still expect him to bat around 287 with a 780 OPS, and I think any team would be happy with those numbers from an outfielder.
Take that for data. How about that? Come on.
Also,
now.
you're
We
talking
got
about
progression models over here.
Humble brag. It's not we. It's me. Josh Tolevsky's one who built the projection models there, guys.
Yeah. No, that's a fact.
And keep in mind, people will show up to the games to watch Tanner Allen play.
Yes.
He is a college baseball legend, an SEC legend, Mississippi State legend. This is a great, great pick.
We look back in at the war rooms. Vava and the boys fired up on the top deck, and Eric Fox strutting back to the podium as we speak for his third pick. Foxy, so far he's got Jackie Bradley Jr. with exclamation points galore and Corel Prime.
With the second pick of the second round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Indianapolis Clowns select Bobby Leday, shortstop.
Well,
There it is. The Indianapolis Clowns are grabbing their franchise shortstop, Bobby Leday, the #1 infielder on my big board, and a guy with 2 straight 17-plus home run seasons in independent ball, had 20-plus stolen bases in every season since 2023, dominated in college, and then tore it up in indie ball as well. An excellent pick, and this is a guy who we have heard is really good with his trick plays as well.
I know Jackie Bradley Jr. has to be the surprise of the draft so far. This is a surprise of the draft to me. I thought the Clowns were going to get him at the first overall pick.
Right.
And then to go Jackie Bradley Jr., Correll Prime, you still end up with Bobby Leday. This is an unreal talent, man. Bobby is also an amazing human. He's a guy, he's going to be a 5-tool player. And we have a lot of 5-tool players here, but playing at the shortstop position, the trick plays that he's going to add, and then the pop that he brings from the shortstop, this is unreal. You mentioned it. 17-plus homers each of the last 2 years in indie ball. I love it, man.
This was my 1-1. For Leday to go into the second round, I think the Clowns certainly win with this pick. You saw Malachi Mitchell reacting, his brand-new teammate, Jackie Bradley Jr., Bobby Leday, Correll Prime. The Clowns are stacked right now.
By the way, if you would have told Foxy that you could have gotten Correll Prime, Leday, and not had to use your first-round pick to get either of them, I mean, I get it. JBJ is a huge surprise, but if you told them that, I think I'd be floored if I were him.
You took the word right out of my mouth. These were the 2 guys I thought were going to be potential #1 overall. They get them at the end of the first and the start of the second.
I think the Texas Tailgaters have to be pretty psyched here too, though, guys.
Sure do.
I mean, you look at how the draft has played out so far. A lot of arms, which they're in need of, right? But Joe Mikulik seems pretty psyched right here. You still need a corner outfielder.
Can you hear they're yelling
I
over
can
there.
hear him.
They're sprinting out of their draft room.
I think they're going to be this loud all night long.
This is great.
You guys don't know Joe Mikulik. He lost his voice at least 17 times this year, guys. He's screaming for a reason.
Yeah.
You have to get another corner outfielder. You have to add another infielder at some point. Obviously, this draft is going to be arm heavy. However, there's still a lot of top-end position players, and I think the Texas Tailgaters might get their top-end position player guy here.
I mean, I think the Texas Tailgaters pitching is what eliminated them from the Tour Championship semifinal. If it were me, I would continue to stick with some arms.
Mick, incredible pace once again. Racing to the stage, pumping out some push-ups.
He is plus, dude.
To the max. Here comes his second pick.
Wait a minute. First of all, let's go. Tailgater Nation with the 3rd pick of the 2nd round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft. The Texas Tailgaters select Jordan Barth, infielder. Let's go.
Guys, I love this pick. I absolutely love this pick. Jordan Barth is a dude who's going to come in here, can play up the middle, can play at first for the Texas Tailgaters. You need a versatile infielder to move around with the pieces that they kept franchised. He's a guy that played at Augustana University. Then he's been playing indie ball in Sioux Falls the past couple years, been absolutely tearing it up. And I think what Joe Mikulik wanted to do, a guy who spent over 40 years in professional baseball, if he's not going to handpick guys with banana ball experience, he wants to get guys with real professional baseball experience. And he's done that with his first 2 picks with Chris Clark and now Jordan Barth.
So that's my question for you, Josh Talevsky. I think that Barth and Leday can both be stalwarts in this sport. Very good in banana ball, stars, if you will. But again, the question mark for me, without any banana ball experience, even as a visitor, how do you bring them in and make them start? Because even Reese Alexiadis, who's so good now, it took him a year to kind of settle in.
Well, look, the Tailgaters kept most of their infield. They've got Jonathan Luders, they've got Travis Munoz. Jordan Hussein can all help him with his defensive skills. And Barth, from what I've seen, can play all 4 infield positions. He also just hit a career-high 19 home runs. He's really talented, and I know I've talked about how great Bobby Leday is. There is a world where I kind of like Jordan Barth even more than Bobby Leday.
Wow. Yeah, Josh, I could talk about Jordan Barth until the cows come home, but I'd like to know who your best available players are right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's still some great players on the board. It starts with the outfielder Max Young-Goldberg, a lot of power coming out of the Pioneer League. A guy who could potentially be another Reese Alexiadis, David Griffin, Jared Donaldson, the best available arms, both of them right-handers. We can't forget about Armando Becerra, how strong he finished with the Party Animals in 2025. And then Ashby Vining, the catcher, who is still on the board. And you got to think, the Clowns, the Coconuts, eventually they're going to be trying to figure out who their franchise catcher is.
I'm a bit surprised Ashby is still on the board because he was my 2nd-ranked catcher in this draft behind Eric Jones Jr. with the previous relationship with Mark Crocco, you figured the Coconuts, who need a catcher, would have gone with him. A little surprised by that.
Yep, Crocco's going to have to wait a few picks to see if Vining is still on the board, because right now, Noggin boss Tyler Gillum has the selection.
Safe. With the 4th pick of the 2nd round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Savannah Bananas select Max Jung Goldberg, utility, first base. Let's go, baby.
That would be Max Young Goldberg, Mr. Gillum out of Palo Alto, California. Tore up the Pioneer League this year, /361, 476, 678, 26 bombs, 28 doubles in his 2nd year with the Boise Hawks. He is an animal.
So, big question for me. I expected him to be one of the top outfielders taken here. You notice, listed as utility first base, Josh Talevsky. I think the Bananas plan to use him wherever they want him to go.
Well, Adam Byron was talking about how much he loves young Goldberg's bat. I think they're planning on trying to slot him in at first base.
Wow.
And look, in the Pioneer League, 130 runs batted in. That led all players. And then he had 28 doubles, 26 runs batted in. They hit with Alexiadis coming out of the Pioneer League in 2024. They may have done it again with young Goldberg.
I love Bobby Leday. I made no secret about it. He's my favorite position player in the draft. This was my 2nd favorite position player in the draft, and maybe the best swing out of any player. Swinging it from the left side. This guy had 130 ribbies last year, leading the Pioneer League. He's one of my absolute favorite prospects and a big-time pickup for the Savannah Bananas. To hear more about this draft pick, let's send it over to Sam Bowden.
Yeah, thanks there, Brett. As you can see, the Bananas may be having more fun than anybody else in the draft. Coach Gillum, you got 2 guys new to Banana Ball, Drury, young Goldberg. What makes you feel like they are the perfect guys to wear yellow?
Well, I tell you what, both of these guys got an unbelievable personality, but they're the best left-handed arm and the best left-handed hitter in the draft. These guys are going to be perfect in our locker room. These guys are crazy, they're fun, and they work their butt off every single day. Banana Ball fans, I'm telling you, I can't wait to see you in 2026. This place is going to be absolutely electric.
Yeah, jump around, guys. Some exciting stuff. Let's stay warm. Guys? Yeah.
Let's go.
Good call, Sam. All right, we're going to keep this thing cooking. Well, the fellas get jiggy with it in their kilts. Val Perez announcing her 2nd pick of the draft.
With the 5th pick of the 2nd round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Firefighters select Jared Donaldson, pitcher.
Well, so far, you might need to rename them the Savannah Firefighters at this point. 2 bananas in a row going to the land of the fire and the flames. The top 2 names on the board for the Firefighters throughout this whole process were Eric Jones Jr. and Jared Donaldson. They get them both. I can't believe that Donaldson fell this far. Had a little shaky start in 2025 as a starter, but they moved him to the bullpen, and Biko, his confidence took a jolt after that.
100%. And these aren't guys that just had a cup of coffee with the Bananas. These are 4-year Bananas each. Donnie, a CPL champion Savannah Banana. Before that, the Peach Belt Conference Pitcher of the Year, one of the best pitchers in the sport with that splitter. And as you said, when he got to the bullpen, he was downright unhittable when the splitter was on and he had the fastball control.
He had a 2.68 earned run average in 40 1/3 innings pitched as a reliever, but you've got options with Jared Donaldson as well. You can throw him in the bullpen. You can start him as well. I genuinely believe he also has closer potential in Banana Ball with that splitter.
And that's what I want to talk about here, because look at the arms they already have. Bradford Webb was an ace in the postseason. The reigning Banana Ball Pitcher of the Year in Ben Dunn III. Johnny Hummel is still listed technically as the closer, and you have a second-day start in Austin Temple. The questions now that you can have with Jared Donaldson becomes so intriguing, and the answers, there's not a bad one, Brett.
I'll give you an answer. That's your day 2 starter. I mean, Donnie wants to stretch and be a starter. I think that splitter, it is one of the very best in the sport. I mean, top 5 pitch in the sport. I think if he'd stretch out and give you 4 to 5 innings a night, when he starts, there's no way he's not your game 2 starter.
Party Animals up next. I fully expect this pick to be a party animal. Again, Bryson Bloomer already off the board. You're trying to rebuild this roster. Think Dustin Baber, think Brady Keiss, Nate Tellier, Peter Holden's in that conversation. Either one of those back-end relief arms or another position guy named Dustin Baber.
What are you valuing here, Drake? Are you valuing the relief
I'm valuing
arm
this,
or
the OTT moment,
Baber?
Josh, right behind us.
Let them dance.
Stalevsky, spell it.
Oh, I can't do it. You've stumped
Yeah, there
me.
we go.
I'm here to do
They
stats,
look
not
good.
spelling.
They look good.
You got him.
With the 6th pick of the second round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Party Animals select Peter Holden, left-handed pitcher.
Yes, 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 yes.
I absolutely love this pick because Peter Holden brings continuity to this team. NBA champion Peter Holden in the fold with the Party Animals in 2026. Pistol Pete is not a guy who we expected early on in 2025 to be a second-round draft pick in the 2026 draft. But the way he settled in, that changeup is devastating. And on top of that, here's what I think the draft strategy will be for Vava tonight. Maybe, Josh, you expected Holden to go round 3, round 4. He'll take him round 2. Maybe you expect so-and-so to go round 3, round 4. He'll get him round 3. Build the roster back by going a round ahead of everybody else and retain the black and pink and their championship.
Well, I would say once that Party Animals headline tour started, Peter Holden was the everyday setup man. It felt like he was pitching the 8th, Gillespie was pitching the 9th every single day for that team. He appeared in 44 games, posted a 120 ERA plus as well. Holden is a really steady arm and definitely improved with his control as the season progressed.
From June 1st on, 24 1/3 innings, a 3.33 ERA for Peter Holden. That's elite.
You know, I told Drake Toll this a lot this year. I also told Peter Holden this a lot this year. We went from Jared Donaldson with that elite splitter. Peter Holden's changeup is as good as anybody's in the sport, if not the single best changeup we're seeing. Obviously, I think it's a no-brainer. You want to bring back a lefty, you want to bring back a Party Animal. You also want to bring back that changeup, Drake.
Yeah, this team is 2 for 2 on retaining its team. I love that.
Take a look at the Clowns. How about that? We got some juggling going on in there. Eric Fox with Will Taylor, Big Red, Riley Turner. I mean, that is a legendary crew Fox has compiled for his war room.
Didn't they draft Jackie Bradley Jr. earlier?
Yeah, that was pretty good. I didn't know you were allowed to pick people who were not
I didn't either.
part of our 161, but I'm not going to complain. I keep thinking about how thrilled I am that Jackie Bradley Jr. is an everyday player in Banana Ball next year.
You're crying right now, dude. You're choked up.
Do you think it's like the meme where that guy gets the call? He's like, "Oh, you're
talking to me? You're talking to me?"
Maybe a little Sasquatch.
Exactly.
Wow,
Yeah.
Sasquatch.
Let's keep this thing going. How can Eric Fox make his team even better? He's got a lot of ways he could go right here.
With the 7th pick of the second round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Indianapolis Clowns select David Griffin, right-handed pitcher.
Another excellent pick for the Indianapolis Clowns. It's the right-hander David Griffin, who is a minor leaguer from the Mets organization. Pitched in AAA every season from 2022 to 2024. He should easily have a 2-to-1 strikeout to ball for sprint rate in Banana Ball, and he was towards the top in the Atlantic League in earned run average, whip, and walks per 9. He should be a steady starting pitcher at the very worst.
I tell you what, we watched a lot of tape in preparation for this draft. This dude throws legit 7 different pitches, and his sinker, the tail on it looks like the tail on the cheetah, man. I mean, that thing just goes right inside to a right-handed hitter. He also throws a sweeper, a fastball that's 91 to 94. I'm telling you, if this dude can do it with a regular baseball, he's going to make a banana ball look like a wiffle ball next year. Eric Fox is killing it right now, man.
Brett, you called him an old school kind of pitcher when you were doing your 5
Yeah, I mean,
pitchers.
the dude played old school baseball. God rest his soul, with Tim Wakefield and Pedro Martinez during his college days. He knows what it's like to dress up and play the old school ball. He's done it.
The thing that impresses me is he worked himself into an MLB farm system. He did not get drafted. He worked his way through the independent leagues to get a chance in Major League Baseball with the New York Mets organization.
Yeah, 3 years of indie ball before he got that nod to join the Mets organization, and 18 appearances, 13 starts at AAA in Syracuse. That is some big talent baseball that he was throwing the pill out there. All right. How about that? One more pick to finish out this second round. Let's take a look at a draft party out there. Who do we have? It's going to be Nico Holzheiser. How about that? Rented out a full bar. He's Josh's number 5 overall outfielder. 2 of those top 5 are off the board.
Did you say rented out a bar? Smells like future party animal to me.
Perhaps, but the dreads, you know, they kind of give you a Coconuts vibe as well. You get the beachy vibe. By the way, he played in the Rays minor league organization as well, so he's probably used to being around the coast, too.
Yeah, in Durham, he hit in the 3-hole in AAA. I think that's pretty good, Josh Klefsky.
With the 8th pick of the second round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Loco Beach Coconuts select Ashby Vining, catcher.
It was worth the wait. Ashby Vining, the starting catcher for your Loco Beach Coconuts. It is official, and Mark Crocco, he gets his guy with his 4th pick of the draft. The best player on the Visitors this past year. 3 home runs in 5 games. Had a .944 slugging percentage. 4 of those starts were behind the dish. And of course, we talked about it when he was a Visitor. He set St. Peter's home run record as a junior. He set it again, tying it with 10 more home runs as a senior.
His personality just fits right in with the Coconuts. I mean, you see it with the long flowing locks of blonde hair. He's got a laid back surfer dude personality, but he is a stone cold competitor once you get him up and ready to hit. He's just an unbelievable competitor. I think he's got huge potential to be the Coconuts' big fan love as well, by the way.
The fact the Coconuts got Drake Fontenot, Ben Parker, Tanner Allen, and Ashby Vining was still here on the board is a surprise to me. Total win for Mark Crocco and company. You see their draft room as excited as it gets to get Vining, their everyday catcher, and married.
Anthony Marks right there, Crocco's official assistant coach, fired up about it as he should be. And Ashby Vining is the last man drafted in the 2nd round. Let's take a look at how this whole 2nd round ended up shaking out, because there was a bunch of surprises here. You take a look at this. Tanner Allen at the top. You got the Coconuts have 2 outfielders now, just 2 rounds into this draft. Then Bobby Leday going to the Clowns. Jordan Barth right back to it. Another fantastic shortstop. Max Young Goldberg to the Bananas. A little bit of a surprise, but a phenomenally talented ball player. Then Jared Donaldson, another Banana, to the Firefighters. Peter Holden, the big southpaw, right back to Drake's Party Animals. And then David Griffin, and finishing it out, Mr. Ashby Vining.
It says round 2 on the graphic. That's a lot of first-round talent that fell down to the 2nd round. I mean, just so many high-grade guys. Max Young Goldberg not going until the 2nd round. And then, that team in yellow, the Savannah Bananas, picks him up. That is a wonderful pick. That's my favorite pick of the whole round.
Biko, to me, this just shows you trust your board. We can rank all you want to, but we didn't think the Tailgaters would go get an infielder. But you trust what you think in the evaluation, maybe this early, with arms.
I also did. Yeah, they needed it. They got to have another infielder, especially a versatile infielder.
You trust your evaluation of the player.
Look, the Tailgaters, they got their infielder. The Bananas got who they think is going to be their first baseman. That now makes both of those teams' draft strategies even easier now. I think you're going to see a lot of pitching drafted on those teams the rest of the way tonight.
It should be. It should be a parade of pitchers for the Tailgaters and the Bananas from here on out. I mean, across these 2 days, I would be surprised as I make sure. I am 5'8", everybody. I can get over this thing.
You told me 5'7".
No. That's on bad days. I got my lifts in today. We're about to get our 3rd round going. It's an odd round, which means it will be started and ended with the Indianapolis Clowns. Here comes Eric Fox's 5th pick.
With the first pick of the 3rd round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Indianapolis Clowns select Jalen Vasquez, infielder.
Well, it is another infielder going to the Indianapolis Clowns, this time Jalen Vasquez, a very impressive player playing in the Orioles minor league system. Spent time playing collegiately at South Carolina and North Greenville, and this is another versatile guy. It felt like they got their franchise shortstop in Bobby Leday. Now with Vasquez, you can plug him at second base. He's potentially your 3rd baseman, and it's another one of those rookies who we've heard very good in the trick play department.
This is one of my favorite infielders to go off the board. The biggest question for me with the Clowns, though, we've only seen them take 1 full-time pitcher. Corral Prime can certainly throw, but David Griffin, the only man off the board that can be a consistent starter for them. Are you surprised, Josh, that we've gotten so deep in this draft and they haven't gotten a couple more arms?
Not exactly. I think you've obviously seen those top shelf arms go very quickly. There's a lot more depth when it comes to the position players. And obviously, Eric Fox, it seems like he's building this team to try and bash their way to success in 2026.
Yes. And I personally love that. I think we talked a lot about when Bloomer got taken by the Party Animals in the 1st round about the championship pedigree. Vasquez was a Division II national champion at North Greenville a few years ago. So when you're bringing in these guys, you get kind of the best of both worlds. A guy with a pedigree, a guy who's also 25 or younger here in Vasquez.
And a CPL guy as well. We love those. In Banana Land, played with the Boone Bigfoots. Let's take a look at the war rooms once again. How about this? We have just kicked off the third round. Vibe still immaculate, and I don't blame them because I feel like every team has to be thrilled with how this draft has gone so far.
You can see it in Vava's eyes behind those pit vipers. He's just wondering which party animal to poach next. Who else can he grab out of this draft? I think it seems like, as I'm looking through these names, everyone has won so far. I mean, that just shows the growth of the sport in the amount of important names, big names, and resumes in this draft pool.
Reggie's losing his mind right now.
Reggie's just hitting a 6-7 for everybody.
Somewhere Ty Jackson is thrilled with his assistant coach's 6-7ing.
Hey, Pookie, I miss you.
Yeah, I think that speaks for all of us when it comes to Ty Jackson. So as we speak, the pick is in for the Loco Beach Coconuts. Mark Crocco with his 5th selection overall. So far, just one pitcher, 2 outfielders, and a catcher. He's got Fontenot, Parker, Allen, and Vining. And we'll see, does he go back to one of his visitors here? Does he try and grab some Banana Ball veteranship? We'll see.
With the second pick of the third round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Loco Beach Coconuts select Peyton Chatagnier, shortstop.
There's your answer, folks. Peyton Chatagnier out of Cypress, Texas, was the visitor starting shortstop and leadoff hitter for all 5 games they played. 2 bombs, a 4-year guy at Ole Miss. He won a national championship with them in 2022, finished up at TCU.
Yeah, I again have the question. Chatagnier, Vining, Fontenot, incredible visitors. Crocco knows them very well. We saw the Animals pitch their way, the Firefighters pitch their way to a championship appearance last year. Is this indicative of how good the infielders are, or the best arms already being off the board?
I think, Drake, there's so much more depth in this draft with arms that when you have high-end position players there, especially a guy like Peyton Chatagnier, who already has a rapport with the skipper and Mark Crocco, I think you got to take those guys and just bank on, hey, this is an 11-round draft, and especially where the Coconuts are, you get 2 picks around. You know you can add arms on the back end, but you can't necessarily get those top-end position guys later. Let's hear more from the man himself there and Coach Mark Crocco with Rex Castillo.
Hey, thanks, guys. Coach Croc, of your 5 picks, 3 of them have been outstanding visitor players. Of course, you were the former head coach of the visitors. What makes you think these guys are ready for the next level?
All summer, these guys proved every day that they could do one thing, which is show up, work, buy into exactly what we're asking for, which is truly the fans and the professionalism that they showed me every day. I have full trust in every single one of those young men. They understand what we're doing here. Tremendous investments. And Tanner Allen, national champion, obviously. Peyton Chatagnier, national champion, both out of the SEC. Tremendous baseball players, but even better human beings, and that's what this organization is truly all about.
Good vibes, and national champions have washed up at Loco Beach. Coach Croc, thank you so much. Good luck the rest of the way. Guys, back to you.
I tell you what, the Texas Tailgaters, they got a little line dancing going on. Barton Mick, man. Look at Mick. What kind of dance is that he's got going on? I tell you what, Joe Mikulik, we heard him screaming earlier. You see him dancing there. He's got to be very excited. Zach, you made the point earlier about infielders. I expected the Texas Tailgaters to take an infielder early. Now I'm expecting them to go back to arms. There's so much depth here with so many big-time arms still left. They have to take one of those guys that are towards the top of our list here.
They've got it.
Yeah, I mean, you still have the 6th best pitcher in Reese Miller and down pretty much available.
Well, I'll tell you what, I said that Reese Miller was my best fit for the Texas Tailgaters. He's a kid who hails from Houston. I still think he'd be a tremendous fit right here in the 3rd round.
They got a rave!
We've still got Crum and Philly on the board,
This
guys,
feels
as well.
very party animals.
I don't think they escaped the 3rd round.
Party
I agree.
people! Tailgater Nation, with the 3rd pick of the 3rd round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Texas Tailgaters select Reese Miller, right-handed pitcher. Let's go!
Yeah, Josh, you hit the nail right on the head. I think that's the best fit you could possibly ask for with the Texas Tailgaters. Reese Miller from Houston, Texas, played at West Texas A&M University. I absolutely love this pick. You're pairing a righty on the back end of the bullpen with the lefty, John Reed. But let's dig a little bit more. He was the 2025 reliever of the year in the Pioneer League. The last 2 years in the Pioneer League, 113 strikeouts, just 20 walks. I'm going to say that one more time. 113 strikeouts, just 20 walks, and across those 2 years, he had a 1.56 ERA, led the Pioneer League this last year with a 1.33 ERA.
And I've been told that's a hitter's league.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It
Ball
is a
flies.
very hitter-friendly league. He still picked up 16 saves, was a Pioneer League All-Star, and now he and John Reed might form the best back end of a bullpen in Banana Ball. I mean, you've got your pick based on matchups. Who you want to close that night? And I genuinely think Reese Miller can challenge Danny Hosley for the highest strikeout rate on the 2026 World Tour.
I'm just wondering who these party people are that Joe Mikulic's yelling about. I'm not sure if
You
my
know,
basis.
there's no people here. One last note on Reese Miller. This is my favorite note I have on any guy in the draft. The highest RPM of a slider all time in Major League Baseball, 3158 RPM. He threw a slider this last year, 3,400 plus RPM. That's nasty. That is disgusting. Guys, I'm so happy he's going to be in the blue and orange next year.
Elite stuff. I mean, the back end of the bullpen is ridiculous. I'm not saying it's not, but Ben Dumm and Johnny Hummel exist.
Yes.
Guys, let's not forget about that.
Hello.
Okay. All right, everybody. And the Bananas might be vying for the best back end of their bullpen as well. They've got Danny Hosley. Krem and Philly are still out there. They need pitching. It's got to be a pitcher right here. How about Reginald Horton leading the charge? It's Trojan Reginald LaRue Horton marching up to the stage. And Reggie, is he about to make the pick? Wow. Give it to us, Reg. Come on. All right, he's going to have field help.
Come on! With the 4th pick of the 3rd round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Savannah Bananas select Cowboy Kyle Louise. Come on, baby! Come on!
Nanners Nation rejoice. It just makes too much sense. Cowboy Kyle, 8 years as a Savannah Banana. It will be number 9 in 2026. He's back with his battery mate, Bill Leroy, the all-time leader in innings pitched and foul-outs to fans in Banana Ball history.
It's just not the Savannah Bananas without Cowboy Kyle Lewis, a guy who's been playing here since 2018 and just enjoyed one of the finest seasons of his Banana Ball career. Went 5-1 this year, had 55 strikeouts. 18% of the batters faced, he struck out. That was the highest rate of Cowboy Kyle's career, and he posted a 1.14 ERA+. He was 14% better than tour average.
You just gave so many incredible stats, but this is the ultimate culture pick.
Amen.
This is a Savannah Banana. I sat down with Kyle a couple days ago and said, man, how you feel? And he said, dude, I just want to be a Savannah Banana.
Yeah.
I really want to be a Savannah Banana because that's what he's been. That's the model from the CPL to Banana Ball to the One City World Tour. All of it has Kyle Lewis written in there.
And people just don't always think about the influence that Kyle, Bill, and Dan have in that Bananas locker room, but it is very important to keep those 3 guys together, and they'll be able to mentor some of these new guys that the Bananas have selected in the earlier rounds.
Wonder if the Bananas were feeling a little bit of pressure to take him now, considering the last 2 picks the Firefighters had stolen bananas from their team.
Right.
And they still need some arms, so perhaps maybe they could have gotten Kyle Lewis. Look,
you see that they're FaceTiming Kyle right here, too. Really,
awesome.
really good. Josh, you gave me the little tear signal right there. This is an emotional
I mean,
pick.
Yeah,
it
man,
is emotional.
Cool. It'll make a grown man cry.
You know, Kyle said that Tyler Gillum and Adam Byron are like his 2 other fathers. Yeah. I mean, and then now get back to be in that clubhouse with them. That's a really special moment, man.
Now for the Firefighters, because they still probably need some arms, but they also need a corner outfielder. They also need another utility player. Where do they go here? It's very interesting. Their draft board has played about as well as it could so far. I wonder where they go here. It's Val President Corey Pye about to do something real special here, folks.
With the 5th pick of the 3rd round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Firefighters select Armando Becerra, outfield.
Well, this time we go to the Party Animals roster to take another experienced Banana Ball player, and Armando Becerra. He's a very versatile kind of outfielder. He will likely slot in to either the right or the left fielder for the Firefighters, but Drake, this has been a very important guy, depth guy for the Party Animals, now slots in to be a starter for the Firefighters.
This is the first animal that we've lost. And talking to Mike Vivacious before the draft, he said, look, if Armando Becerra goes really early, good for him. He gets to be an everyday guy for somebody else. Late in this season, the Animals have 4 outfielders already.
Right,
Otherwise, you probably
right.
go Mondo here.
Yes.
Outside of him being a great culture and locker room guy, he was splitting time, I should say, in right field during crunch time, the home stretch of the season with the Animals fighting for a championship with the MVP, splitting time with the MVP, because that's how good he is defensively. I think Armando Becerra, another guy who stepped up big when there were injuries in Nashville to get a huge win, it's my favorite draft strategy so far. Getting Banana Ball veterans. I love what Val did here.
Yep, I love the experience. I love what they're doing so far. And I want to hear from Val Perez. Let's send it down to Rex.
Guys, thank you so much. Coach Val taking a lot of veterans. Armando Becerra, you guys faced him in that championship game. So what does it mean to bring him on in the Fire and Flames now?
The amount of experience that we have on our roster right now is incredible. Obviously, we're fired up about the 2 vets from the Bananas and Armando joining our team. He had an incredible year. He had a tough time getting in the games because there's a star-studded Party Animals outfield, but we believe he has a lot of room here to show out. So we're pumped about it. We can't wait to have him.
Must feel kind of good to take a party animal, right, and put him in the right uniform, right?
Absolutely. You know, his party days are over. We're gonna whip him into shape, and we're gonna come up on top this year.
Looks like the party is over. But guys, back to you.
Yes, Val grabbed another a party animal, another former Banana as well. She's 3 for 3 on former Bananas.
Wow.
He's a CPL champ in the summer of 2022. First team all CPL, starter in the All-Star game. He was a nanner before he was wearing the black and pink.
And he's got some familiarity with Johnny Hummel and Drew Unesta coming from Erskine College, so that's big. He will not be familiar with the Party Animals anymore, Drake.
Well, I think across the last couple months of the tour, it was Becerra batting .314, an OPS north of 1,000. Really came into his own. Zach, I know you said you thought he might slot in at corner outfield. I think he deserves to be the center fielder for the Firefighters. He is so good defensively, and I think that's where you can maximize his trick plays.
Party Animals up here. I'm reading the chat. I'm like Santa Claus in that way. Every single message. They're begging for Dustin Baber to go back to the Animals. I'd be shocked if it's not Baber here.
With the 6th pick of the 3rd round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Party Animals select their leprechaun, Dustin Baber, second baseman.
And I don't have to be shocked at all. Incredible. Dustin Baber remains a party animal. You've won the draft so far. You got Bryson Bloomer back. You got the reliever and Peter Holden, your big lefty. And Dustin Baber, the beer chug champ, stays in the black. I can't hide the smile, man. I love it. He has been so excited all day long for the prospect of Vava picking him up somewhere in this draft tonight. I think he's a steal here in the 3rd round on the infield. He texted earlier saying, many beers to chug next year. And
I'm sure it's happening right now. He's at Saddlebags as we speak.
He did text me and said, hope Vava takes me early so I can get to drinking. Yeah. He's going to celebrate all night. He's the epitome of what a party animal is. His first home run in Banana Ball with Holly Holm walking him to the plate. Come on. He is party animal. You know, and it makes me so happy that guy stays in our locker room. This is a great pick for Mike Vivacious.
First of all, drink away, Dustin. You've earned it now at this point. The thing that impressed me, you lose a guy like Chase Acup, and you don't lose the effective trick plays because Dustin Baber stepped up as much as he did, went into the 100s after losing Chase Acup. That's a massive game.
It is just Dustin Baber and Ryan Cox, the only 2 guys in Banana Ball history with multiple 100 trick play seasons, and Baber brought pop like never before, a career-high 6 home runs this year. I mean, he's got 321 trick plays in his Banana Ball career, 2nd most all time. Let's not forget what he did with the bat here, guys. A career-high 6 bombs in 2025.
And again, I want to go back to, you may slot him at 4th. You may slot him in the 5th round. In the mock drafts, you may see him go later. Mike Vivacious is going to jump on his players whenever available in this draft. Yeah. Even if you might think, hey, is that a round early? Not for him.
You won the championship.
You did. Everyone else is chasing you.
Right.
Why not stay you?
Even if you lose to the Firefighters in that game, Vava's such a player's coach. He's going to reward his guys. They went to war for him, and they won a ring.
We could talk about Baber till the cows literally come home. Here's your best available Josh at this exact moment. Yeah, you've still got Jordan Brewer on the board, a guy who you can slot at first base, potentially a corner outfield spot. Austin Krasminski still available for a team to potentially set up or close for them. Kyle Martin at first base, a big slugger, probably the best slugger still on the board in tonight's draft. And then you've got a pair of outfielders, Lamar Sparks, super athletic, a minor leaguer, and then another minor leaguer. We mentioned him earlier, Nico Holsizer from the Rays organization.
Roughly 20 picks left tonight. I'd be surprised if guys like Zach Phillips aren't in that fold as well.
22 picks left tonight. To do the math for you, Drake. I know you're not a big fan of that,
No,
but I'm here for
I
you.
do the beers.
Yeah.
You do the math, Biko.
That's right. You want to get Josh to spell congruence, or we're just gonna?
No, thank you.
All right, let's keep it going. How about Crocco? Another prop showing off the athleticism. Here's his 6th pick.
With the 7th pick of the 3rd round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Loco Beach Coconuts select Austin Krasminski, right-handed pitcher.
It's about time, and it fits the need for the Coconuts. He started his night grabbing Drake Fontenot. It's been 4 hitters since then, and now he gets Krem, one of the best pitchers in the sport of 2017. Collegiate Banana, now off of back-to-back years with the Nanners here in the Banana Ball world, former minor leaguer with the Angels and Cubs, and this year a 3.72 ERA across 38 and 2/3 innings pitched. That was 3rd best in the sport among qualified pitchers. The only 2 with a better ERA was Ben Dunn and Drew Gillespie.
And you might be thinking at home, Drake Fontenot's your ace. Austin Krasminski's your closer.
There it is.
Talevsky,
There it is.
he told us, though, earlier this week, he might try to stretch it out and start starting some.
Yeah, you never know what can happen if that's what he tries to program throughout the offseason. I'd be awfully impressed. But look, he had 9 saves and 11 tries for the Bananas this past season, splitting the closer role duties with Danny Hosley. And from the start of July to the end of the regular season, he didn't allow a single earned run. I don't know why you would fix what isn't broke.
To me, the question now becomes, what are the Bananas going to do on the back end of the bullpen? Because goodness gracious, they have gotten completely torn apart with Donaldson to the Firefighters and now Krem going to the Coconuts. There's a lot of questions now for the Bananas pitching staff.
I love the FaceTime. Shane Victorino in the office right now. He is the guest coach, the big game coach for the Coconuts. Premier coach of the Coconuts. And this is great. Prime time coach.
Oh, there it goes, Cole. There it goes.
Not just a helmet.
The newest
There's
broadcaster
a brain
of
in
Banana
here,
Ball,
boys
too.
and girls.
Austin Krasminski deserves to be an every night closer in this sport. In a one-game format, if it comes down to that at any point in time, Drake Fontenot going 6-7 innings and Austin Krasminski shutting the door. Oh my gosh, that's
He's got the temperament for it.
Zach, I want to answer your question. You said, what do the Bananas, how do they shore up the back of that bullpen? 2 words. Danny Hosley. They still have him.
Well, look, I mean, you've got options with Cowboy Kyle. We saw him fluctuate between the bullpen and the rotation. I think you saw that strikeout rate so good for Kyle. You can trust him in late inning situations.
No doubt about it. He's flexible. And I mean, this is a guy across his first 3 years as a collegiate Banana in Kyle Lewis. Was a reliever, mostly in middle relief. He was in a lot of high-pressure situations. It wasn't until his 4th year as a collegiate Banana that he became the ace of that staff and was unbelievable with Ryan Kennedy and Joe Miller. We could talk about that for ages. One of the best pitching staffs in Coastal Plain League history. But we're here to talk about Banana Ball. And on the clock right now, it's the Indianapolis Clowns. Can't wait to see what Eric Fox goes with here to close out the 3rd round. Foxy, so far, 1 pitcher, 4 bats, phenomenal bats at that. But I would guess he's going to grab another arm.
With the 8th pick of the 3rd round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Indianapolis Clowns select Nicholas Wilson, right-handed pitcher.
Well, there's a frontline starter for the Indianapolis Clowns. Nicholas Wilson, a very talented collegiate player who just finished his career at Angelo State and was the Friday night arm there, had over a 5-to-1 strikeout-to-walk ratio in 2025, and those whip numbers continue to improve for Wilson as well. So you can expect him to keep guys off the base paths with the Indianapolis Clowns.
And everybody we talk to, like you said, he comes in, he has ace potential. And again, I love what the Clowns do here. They've had so many veterans, whether it be baseball veterans or Banana Ball veterans so far. And now you're getting a younger guy who can come in and play a major role on a first-year team here, Nicholas Wilson.
You see that jersey's got 3 letters on it, USA. That right there is all you need to know about Nicholas Wilson coming into this sport.
Yep, he was on the USA National Collegiate Baseball team in 2023. He participated in the HBCU All-Star Game and the inaugural HBCU Classic in 2023 out in Seattle with Ty Jackson. He is
Christian Davis.
No doubt about it. How about that? We keep grabbing him. Really impressive talent added to this Clown squad. And now that is 3 rounds in the books, and the Clowns, you got to be thrilled with it. It all starts with JBJ. Once you do that to open up the draft, everything else is it's probably going to go your way. But I think Fox and company have done a wonderful job tonight. Take a look at the recap here. At the top, Jalen Vasquez, the second infielder off the board for the Clowns so far. Then Peyton Chatagnier, as Crocco got a third visitor of his. Reese Miller, fantastic starting pitcher for the Tailgaters. Cowboy Kyle back to the Bananas. And then Armando Becerra, another Banana Ball veteran for the Firefighters. Dustin Baber, third party animal, protected by Mike Vivacis. Austin Krasminski is going to the Coconuts, and Nicholas Wilson wraps up the round. I would love to know, Josh, who are your best available at this point?
Well, you've still got Jordan Brewer, I should say, available on your board. I mean, Zach Phillips, still a great pitcher. He's the top pitcher available. Tristan Levesque, another talented lefty behind him. We still haven't seen Eric Osberg, Joe Lytle taken off the board, some talented catchers. Don't forget, Lamar Sparks, Nico Holzheiser, TJ Reeves. These are all phenomenal outfielders who are very deserving to play Banana Ball.
I like that you've got Miller on the mind, Josh. Me too, most of the time, actually. I'm surprised that Andy Archer isn't up there yet. I still have him pretty high on my board. I'd like to see him get picked in these next couple of rounds.
We'll see here. Mark Crocco going up. Austin Krasminski and Zach Phillips were hoping to be back on the same team together. See if Crocco combines them or goes with a bat.
With the first pick of the 4th round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Loco Beach Coconuts select Jordan Brewer, first baseman.
Well, this is an absolute steal to open up the 4th round. This is a guy I thought could go 1-1. I mean, that's how good Jordan Brewer is. He's got a Jake Skoll type of resume. He was unbelievable with the visitors this past summer. Most of his starts coming at first base, 1 in right field, hit .316, a couple bombs, 3 ball, 4 sprints, a couple steals, 4 trick plays at first. This is your 2019 Big Ten Player of the Year at Michigan, and a 3rd round draft pick by the Astros, who spent 6 years in their minor league system.
Jake Skoll and Reese Hampton approached him in Louisville and said, hey, buddy, we don't have a lot of that.
Yeah,
and
one of us.
What that is a real pro bat. When he stands in the box, you are afraid of Jordan Brewer. He is elite at the plate.
You know, I was talking to Brew this past week, and he said one of his favorite things was getting to go in the locker room. On the flip side of that, Skoll and Hampton loved him. He loved going and being in the locker room like that. He said that's what sold him on wanting to come and play here. And now he gets to play for Crocco yet again with the Coconuts. And speaking of Crocco, Pico, we were talking to him earlier today. He said one of his favorite things about this whole draft was getting to make some more dreams come true. Jordan Brewer already had his dream come true a few years ago with the Astros. Now it gets to happen again, and he's going to be a special player here in our sport.
You look at what Crocco's done so far. Drake Fontenot. You look at getting Peyton Chatagnier. You look at getting Jordan Brewer, Ashby Vining, and he hasn't had to do it immediately right off the jump with worrying that he's going to lose one of those guys. That's a massive get for Crocco to get his guys and not have to do it all rushed.
Hey, guys, keep this in mind. Jordan Brewer, when he was with the visitors, was walking around with a trident the entire time. It seems pretty perfect for the Coconuts. He kind of looks like Aquaman as well.
Good job.
Really talented former minor leaguer.
Still only 1 arm, though, so far for the Coconuts. That's what I'm looking at right now. They need to go arms again here pretty soon.
I mean, I was thinking that round 3 was the reunion round, but maybe it's going to be round 4 as well, considering Crocco just got Brewer back.
Yeah, 2 arms so far there, Drake. When you can look at Fontenot, and then they also have Austin Krasminski here as well.
Great call.
Yeah, and those are 2 phenomenal arms at that. 2 of the best right-handed pitchers.
Never mind. No more pitching. They're good.
Draft.
Yeah, they're good. We're good.
You're good. You're not worried about what he's doing.
I was wrong on my big
he's
board.
Thinking about the Millers, okay? The internet out here is not as good
Baber
as
just texted me and said first round on me, so the rest of my nights.
I think you already had first round for you, Drake.
Think about saddlebags. Understandable. Eric Fox, what are you doing here with the second pick in the 4th?
With the second pick of the 4th round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Indianapolis Clowns select Nico Holzheiser, outfielder.
That is a lot of thumb getting added to the Indianapolis Clowns lineup right there. Nico Holzheiser, one of the best pure sluggers in this Banana Ball World Tour draft pool. Once upon a time, the number 27 ranked prospect for the Tampa Bay Rays. In the minors, he had more extra base hits than he had singles. He's pretty typical major league hitter, one of those guys who you see hit for a lot of power. There can be some swing and miss in the bat, but I would not be shocked if he was a guy who started to challenge Jake Skoll for a home run title in Banana Ball.
6 years in the Rays system. He hit 3rd for the Durham Bulls in 2023. It was back-to-back with former Savannah Banana Tristan Peters. I mean, talk about a 1-2 punch right there. This is a guy who has played professionally all over in the Venezuelan Winter League, the Mexican Baseball League, the Atlantic League, which is the best indie pro ball league we have in the country, the Australian Baseball League this past winter. Everywhere he goes, he punishes baseballs.
We're seeing a trend here for the Clowns, guys. They're picking a lot of guys with a lot of professional experience, and their draft room has been the most ecstatic out of anybody all night.
Well, I mentioned some of the projection models earlier.
Ooh, talk to me, Talevsky.
You guys will not believe this. We ran a couple of projections where Holsizer was going to end up with a slugging percentage over 600, an isolated power of 300. By the way, 250 is what's considered elite by Major League Baseball standards.
Can we give a shout out to Riley Turner in the draft room here for the Clowns as well? Not quite the statistical savant, but he's up there. He's the Padawan, if you will, to Josh Talevsky, doing a great job of helping these coaches know, hey, analytically, if this is Moneyball-wise what you want, Riley Turner's your guy.
And Riley and Blake O'Hare, they were these guys running some of these projection models, so they did a lot of work to make all this happen.
There he is. Shout out Riley helping out Eric Fox and
Hi,
company.
Riley.
Got the analytics going on in there, and you talk about that projection. Oh, there they are again. As well as at Croco and the Coconuts.
Blake O'Hare's in the
Blake
background.
O'Hare.
Folks
That's
might be
okay.
wondering, is a 600 slugging percentage very good? There was only 2 guys who slugged 600 or better this past year. It was Bill Leroy and Jake Skull.
Yeah, we can talk about slugging percentage. I like talking about what the Tailgaters are going to do next. I mean, you'd have to think that it's going to be a lot more pitching. Still some really good position players there. Let's see. Oh! And they're coming on the track! Look at that! Joe Mick doesn't have to run anymore.
Let's go!
Changing Marvin surely doesn't. Oh, Mick doesn't have a shirt on, guys. He's 62 years old in 6 days, and he looks like that. Mick goes, not going to look like that. Maybe 40 years. I'm happy.
3 times gotta get his diamond.
baby!
I mean, that's what 40-plus years in affiliated
Hey, you want a
baseball
burger? You want a hot dog? What do you
I'd
want?
take a burger.
You want a hot dog, Nico? Oh, come on, let's go. How about that bread
I
lobster?
love it!
Here we go. With the 3rd pick of the 4th round of the 2026 Banana Ball Draft, the Texas Tailgaters select Kyle Martin, outfielder.
You know what I love even more? That pick.
Yeah!
How does he fall to the 4th round? How? How does this guy how many home runs did he have in minor league baseball, Josh Talevsky?
167 between the minors and indie ball.
God bless. And then the last time he played in the minors was 2022 in the Padres organization. Hit over 270 with 17 bombs. He showed up to his tryout hitting a onesie. This dude can absolutely rake. At USC, played at South Carolina back in the early 2010s. I love this pick. I love this pick, guys.
You want to add in international professional
Talk to me.
baseball? 275 career professional home runs for Kyle Martin. He has proved on multiple continents that he can send the ball a mile.
Max Young Goldberg, we seen him taken by the Bananas earlier. Sweetest left-handed swing in the draft. Kyle Martin did not trail by a whole lot. You're talking about a guy who also, happy birthday to him, he turns 34 today. You're bringing in a veteran into the clubhouse here. I absolutely love this pick, and especially the value of this pick for the Tailgaters. They need arms, but when the top-end position player's still on the board there, you got to take him in the 4th round.
I just want to know, from you to Joe Mikulik to Penny to all these guys, Bart, can Kyle Martin keep up with the energy? That's my question, because that was a lot.
He wore a green onesie. He
That
wore a
was-
green
that was
onesie to
right
his tryout.
in my
Drake. I
face.
think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. Do you still want that hot dog? We can make that happen for you.
Guys, I'm thinking of hot dogs
I'm
so
starving
much right now.
I'm ravenous.
The Twizzy would be
Drum
nice
dog,
right now.
huh?
I kind of thought maybe Bart would chuck us one from the grill over
They're
there.
burnt. Fret not. He's really bad on the grill.
That's fine. I just
Wow.
grill
shot
meat.
right there,
Take
dude.
what you can get.
Yeah, it would.
Can't always get what you want.
It would do me real good. I can't believe Kyle Martin was still here.
Yeah.
I can't believe how good every team looks. I mean, I know in all of our draft prep that the talent here is unbelievable. But, I mean, just seeing how it is playing out for all these teams, it's really been impressive. And you want to talk about energy. Josh, we'll get to you in a second. This is mayhem. Reggie's being abducted, and he's a
With
Trojan.
the 4th pick of the 4th round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Savannah Bananas select Grant Besser, left-handed pitcher.
Somebody save Reg. Come on, boys. Spyro, Stover, somebody help that man out. Grant Besser off the board. Another visitor has a full-time job here in Bananaland, and Besser really impressed in his time with Banana Ball's developmental team. 2 2/3 innings. He was scoreless, a couple strikeouts, kind of pitches like John Reed, JUCO guy at Southwestern State, was first team All Suncoast Conference in 2022, transferred to Rutgers, sent his final 2 years at the Indiana Institute of Technology, where he was the Wolverine Hoosier Conference Pitcher of the Year. He's a small guy. He will surprise you with the fastball and an absolutely filthy changeup.
Yeah, I mean, he is funky out there on the pitcher's mound, standing at just 5'10", and he did look tremendous with the visitor serving as their setup man. We know he can start as well, so there's a lot of versatility here for the Savannah Bananas, and we know how much they have loved utilizing left-handed pitching. This is a great get.
Now, this is a spot where for me, I may take a look at a Levesque or a Brady Keiss, maybe somebody who's got a lot of Banana Ball experience.
Philly, too.
Yeah, Philly, who's in that conversation. Are you surprised that of these 4 picks for the Bananas, just one of them is a former Savannah Banana, and just one of them has full-time Banana Ball experience, and that being Kyle Lewigs?
Yes. Yes, I thought you were talking to Josh, but I'll answer
Either
the
one
question.
of you. Are you surprised the Bananas draft strategy
I would have
here?
expected Zach Phillips to be off the board. I mean, obviously the resume is much more robust with the minor league experience and having 3 years.
They won the regular season.
Right, having 3 years in Bananaland. He's the only guy who has 3 innings lifetime under 1 minute. But the guys obviously love what they saw with Grant Besser, not only dominating them as a visitor in a very small sample size, but at the workout.
Well, friends, the Firefighters are coming up here next, so he might be coming to the Firefighters if the Trends are here, because they've taken everybody else's players so far. The Firefighters still need some arms. They need left-handed pitching. Philly would fit that perfectly. Outfielder, still in need here at some point in time, and we're starting to see a rush of outfielders taken here early on. So it's balancing needs here at this point.
Again, love that strategy too. Val Perez got great Banana Ball players from winning teams and brings guys with a ton of experience through her first 4 picks. Will she go outside of that with pick 5? I think she can choose to, and it won't harm the team whatsoever.
Look, right now all of the pitchers on the Firefighters are right-handed. I think a lefty should definitely be at the top of their wish list right now.
Zach Phillips would be a perfect pick right here. We'll see who Val Perez goes to.
Yeah.
Let's find out right now.
With the 5th pick of the 4th round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Firefighters select Lamar Sparks, outfielder.
Well, the name of the game here is Lamar Sparks. The name of his game is Speed. He's a stealing machine. 65 stolen bases throughout his minor league career. He does have plus speed. Former Orioles prospect, 5th round draft pick, dealt with a lot of injuries throughout his minor league time. Ended up going into the Pioneer League in 2022. He hit .399, 18 home runs, 85 RBIs in 88 games. He rebuilt himself in the Pioneer League. Also one of the coolest stories of the draft here. He was adopted by his parents, Pat and Gina. Pat just retired after a long time in the ministry service, and now he'll come to the Firefighters. Sparks! Lighting the spark for the Firefighters. How about that?
Does a name like Sparks seem antithetical to what Val Perez is trying to do here?
What a word.
Absolutely not, because we're trying to light the fire here for the Firefighters, and then we'll extinguish it for other teams.
96% of house fires start with a spark.
They sure do, but Lamar Sparks is going to light up on the base pads.
Yeah, I knew it. I was going to double check you on that. Yeah, I was.
At this point, I wasn't paying attention to him because he was just dribbling at that point.
Probably good
But
advice.
seriously, this is one of the cooler stories here
Yes,
for Banana Ball. This
really
is what it's all about with Lamar Sparks, and hey, that's one of your corner outfielders now for the Firefighters.
Yeah, he went to the Houston game last year. He told Barry Aldridge he absolutely loves the mission and the purpose of Bananas Foster, of course. This is a guy who is all in on Banana Ball. And, I mean, we already toe the line with the whole Firefighters. They're lighting stuff on fire all the time.
Joe Lytle lit his helmet on fire on multiple occasions.
You know,
Val Perez watched a Clemson batter light
Right.
his bat. Dalton Cornett lit his bat on fire, and Val Perez handed it to him.
Right,
So.
okay. I think we've handled that. Josh, who are the best available guys right now overall?
I'm still surprised that Zach Phillips is on the board here in the 4th round. You've still got another lefty, Tristan Levesque, who's starting to fall. I had him ranked pretty high. C.J. Williams, we saw him as the closer for the Visitors, a talented right-hand arm who can close, possibly serve as a starting pitcher. Don't forget about T.J. Reeves, a very talented outfielder, and Eric Osberg, a catcher, which isn't a lot of needs, but he is a darn good hitter.
You can take your best available and shove it. I want Vava to take a party animal right here.
I bet he will.
With the 6th pick of the 4th round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Party Animals select Brady Keiss, left-handed pitcher.
That's exactly what he does. He goes to the pipeline for another lefty and a guy who has a championship ring on his right hand. Brady Keiss was a leader out of the bullpen this last year for the Party Animals. 3 showdown shutdowns and 5 opportunities. And when Drew Gillespie is also on the back end of your pitching staff, if you get any opportunities and showdowns, it shows the respect this coaching staff has for Keiss. He was electric to start the year. Middle of the season, dealt with some injuries, came back super strong to finish it with Peter Holden also catching on. I think from Holden to Keiss, you're anchoring the guys who will set up Drew Gillespie with Helton or Ponce or Delano starting.
And here's the thing, before the 2025 World Tour started, Mike Vivesa said a big priority for him was to get more left-handers in his bullpen. We obviously saw how that worked out for him, being able to take home the championship.
Look, and you can go with the C.J. Williams here if you want another pitcher on that back end. You could go with a Zach Phillips here, who I think would fit the Party Animals mold, but why not go with the guy who's got the ring, who was with the Party Animals? Mike Vivesa, I'm sure, can tell us more.
Married man knows a lot about commitment, Vava. And we look at a draft like this, you could be tempted by the hot young thing that's out there, but for you, it seems loyalty.
You know, I once been told, don't fix what ain't broken. And, you know, I think that Party Animal Nation, we're strong. We have a lot of good athletes, a lot of good banana ball players. And I'm like, hey, let's keep the family. Let's keep the family intact here. So just really looking out for the guys and really love the ball club we had.
Well, Vava has found the perfect woman for him, and it seems like he's found the perfect men for him as well in the Party Animals, guys.
Sam Bauman. Unbelievable.
Take a bow, Sam.
Vava said everything right there.
Wow. Added to the Sam Bauman highlight reel specifically.
Question of the year, and he landed the plane like I couldn't have even imagined either.
That was the most banana ball question you could possibly get from Sam Bauman. I want to point out, and Vava mentioned this, if it's not broke, don't fix it. The Bananas, the Firefighters, the Texas Tailgaters, they're building their rosters out for how do we defeat the Bananas, the Tailgaters, the Firefighters, and especially the Party Animals. They're having conversations of who can we add. I think the Bananas draft has been the most surprising to me so far. They're chasing the team that won the title this last year. Vava doing what he needs to do to rebuild that roster. Everybody else is playing catch-up.
The talent pool here, though, Drake, you continue to take the guys that won the championship last year. There's a lot of talent, and there's a lot of new talent being added to these teams. I really think, obviously, the Clowns and Coconuts having to build from scratch. I think the other 3 teams from last year, they're starting to close that gap here tonight.
And at some level, there's still a question mark on the guys who haven't played banana ball yet. Again, Reese Alexiata settled into an MVP caliber player this year, but I'd like to see how some of these big names, like a Max Young Goldberg or Tanner Allen, settle in year 1, though Vava knows what he will get with these guys.
I mean, it always takes a minute. We saw that a little bit with Alexiatis, a big jump from year 2 from year 1.
Yeah.
But consider how hot Logan Lacey was from the very start and how he has continued that throughout his banana ball career. I mean, it seemed like he didn't need an adjustment period whatsoever.
Andy Cosgrove, another great example.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, Lacey put together the best 19 games to start a career in banana ball history in 2024. He was stupendous in his sophomore season as well. So, yeah, you never know what you're going to get from these new guys. We'll see if Eric Cox goes to a vet or a new face.
With the 7th pick of the 4th round of the Banana Ball Player Draft, the Indianapolis Clowns select Joe Gray, outfielder.
Well, that is more athleticism getting added to the Indianapolis Clowns roster. Joe Gray, at one time, the number 7 ranked prospect for the Milwaukee Brewers. That was in 2019. This guy is a plus defender in the outfield, can play all 3 positions, although I think he's going to slot in at center field. A stolen base machine as well. The only thing that they will have to be wary of is helping him cut down on his strikeouts at the plate.
When we talk about ties to banana ball here, he already has one. He was a 2nd-round pick out of high school. If he wouldn't have chosen to go play professional baseball and go play with the Brewers in 2018, Brandon Pennington, the Texas Tailgaters pitching coach, who also hails from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, recruited him to play at Meridian Community College. So already a tie here to banana ball. High-character guy. Penny could not say enough good things about him in the pre-draft process. And again, Eric Fox kills him with another pick.
You mentioned 2nd-round pick out of high school. He takes that, makes it to Double-A with the Royals. A lot of pro experience. This was one of the top outfielders on my draft board. In my opinion, this is a steal to get Joe Gray this late in our draft.
Yeah, Joe Gray, phenomenally talented outfielder, and that is back-to-back outfielders grabbed by the Clowns with Nico Holzheiser and Gray, 2 guys with affiliated experience as well. As we've said throughout the night, Guys all over the country are hoping to hear their name called tonight. I would love to pop in, see who we have out there. We've got some cameras in draft rooms, and who we're checking on. Ah, that's the big man, Connor Harris, all 6'7" of him. And Connor, boy,
Don't let him near your fence.
Yeah, I've destroyed his grandparents' fence.
Near your fence.
And you kind of took the words out of my mouth because I've been loving the social media work from
gosh.
Connor as of late. You see the hard work from his mom that was on display in one of his most recent reels.
He wants to play a banana ball game at Central Station.
Yeah, I like that as well.
He'll play one anywhere, I promise you.
Jesse Cole was with us today saying, I love this guy. Hopefully Connor Harris is off the board tonight.
Well, yeah, he's banana ball through and through, and if he doesn't go off the board tonight, he's going to be an early guy tomorrow. That's what we have to remember, is there's a lot of guys who, if they don't get called across these next 9 picks, they're probably going to be on a graphic real early tomorrow.
With the 8th pick of the 4th round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Loco Beach Coconuts select Eric Osberg, catcher.
How about that? Another phenomenally talented man for the Coconuts. Eric Ostberg out of Florence, Massachusetts, just outside the Berkshires. You know how much I love that part of the world. 7 years in the Rays minor league system, 999 career plate appearances in the minors. Overlapped with Jackson Olsen at the University of Hartford. When Jackson was a freshman, Ostberg a senior, crossed 22 games, slashed a 500 batting average, 596 on base percentage, 860 slug. I talked to Jackson about it. He said darn near every time he got up to the plate, something good happened, and he was sending balls all over the yard.
This is the reason that he was my 4th best catcher before coming into this draft. He's just a pro's pro. 9 years playing professionally. Former 13th round pick of the Tampa Bay Rays. He will teach a guy like Ashby Vining how to be a pro. And by the way, the dude can juggle already. So if you want trick plays, he might throw one out there trying to throw somebody down at second base.
Josh, the Coconuts already got Ashby Vining. What's better than 1 catcher?
2 catchers! Hey, by the way, you can put him at first base. You can put him as your EH, your DH. It is unbelievable what they're getting with Eric Osberg. Zach, I love the point you made as well. This is a guy with so much experience. He is only going to make a young guy like Ashby Vining much better.
And we talk about banana ball experience, but there is something that's just pro experience and just learning how to be on the road all the time, learning how to be around fans all the time. That's something I think Eric Osberg can lend to a lot of guys.
Okay, let's take a look at the round 4 recap as we get another look in these draft rooms. At the top, Jordan Brewer, and then Nico Holzheiser to the Clowns. Kyle Martin, the prolific slugger, goes to the Tailgaters. Grant Besser, fantastic lefty, to the Nanners. Lamar Sparks, an outfielder for the Firefighters. Brady Keiss back to the Party Animals, and then Joe Gray, another outfielder here in the 4th round to the Clowns. Eric Osberg rounds it out to the Coconuts.
I mean, round 4's the resume round. Get this guy, 6 of the 8 draft picks in the 4th round, former minor leaguers. Holy cow.
That's why you're the
Brewer
statistical
falling
savant.
that far, man. I mean, incredible. Still a lot of guys, though, Josh Zalewski left on the board. Really good players.
Again, Zach Phillips is falling, guys. Zach Phillips still available to be a closer. People think he can be a starting pitcher. Unbelievable lefty. I mean, he was tied for the fastest pitcher in Banana Ball in 2025. You've got Joe Lytle, another familiar face, still available at catcher. Then Eli Patton, probably the best true third baseman, still available in tonight's draft. And TJ Reeves, a guy who we saw play 1 Banana Ball game back in 2023. But the great thing about TJ, he has shown consistency throughout his baseball career.
Starting off our final round, it's an odd round. You know what that means. It's the Indianapolis Clowns and Eric Fox. Coming to the podium.
With the first pick of the 5th round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Indianapolis Clowns select Andrew Irvine, right-handed pitcher.
Well, now there is some gas getting added to the Indianapolis Clowns. Andrew Irvine, another former minor leaguer, a guy who was playing in the Pirates organization and a guy who has a lot of cheddar. In his minor league career, posted a 4.20 earned run average. really hard thrower. I cannot stress that enough. And this is a guy who's been doing a lot of workouts to get himself in shape to play banana ball in 2026.
Man, I love this pick. Again, to get him in the 5th round, you mentioned it,
Yeah.
mid-90s fastball, another guy that Eric Fox goes with that has so much professional baseball experience, and he could really be your closer opening night for the Clowns.
We both had the same reaction, just
Yeah.
mouth agape when you see the name come up on the street. You forget that, Irvine's still, oh my gosh, how have we gotten to the 5th round? And Irvine is still on the board. Now he no longer is. I thought, too, I had Gray rated above Holsizer earlier. They got both those guys.
Yeah.
Then Irvine this late. The Clowns have, Jackie Bradley Jr., the Clowns have won
Can't
this
forget
draft.
it.
By the way, this is the beauty of having 2 picks in each round. You can really play with a lot of moldable clay in this draft, a lot of moldable talent in the draft, and find ways to build your team the way you would like to, Brett.
Andrew Irvine also been really doing a lot on social media, been training with our good friend Armandi Henderson here in the pre-draft process.
That's right, throwing to the bullseye.
Yep.
I mean, this is a guy who threw 13 straight fastballs, 4 strikes at the workout, tipping the pitches. None of them were hit in play. He's got some legit stuff. And now we get our second to last pick of the night for the Coconuts. They will wrap this thing up with the 7th pick of the round as well. But right here, what does Crocco go with? The Tiki Torch.
We'll get a fire extinguisher to put that out.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
coming
everybody.
up to the podium. Another pick, another accessory. Let's see what he goes with for his 7th selection.
With the second pick of the 5th round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Loco Beach Coconuts select Will Etheridge, right-handed pitcher.
Big boy Will Etheridge, 6'5", right-hander out of Lilburn, Georgia. Spent 3 years at Ole Miss, was their Friday night starter his senior year. Drafted twice, first by the Mariners, then by the Rockies in the 5th round. You know what that means. He's one of Joe Mikulic's guys. I know he had to be high on the draft board for the Tailgaters. Was a freshman All-American at Ole Miss, and really an impressive arm.
On my big board, I expected Will Etheridge to slip into that early day 2 range. Guys like C.J. Williams, who are still on the board, Brett Allen or Nate Tellier. And you completely disagreed with that, Brett Loftus. You said that this guy deserves to be a day 1 arm, and here he is.
I think he was a 2nd-round pick. I really do. 2nd to 3rd-round pick. I'm big on this guy. He went to Parkview High School, hails of Jeff Francoeur and Matt Olson. He played at Ole Miss, where he was the Friday night guy his last year there. You mentioned it, played for Mick in the minors. This is a dude who comes with so much pedigree, and you're bringing in a veteran right-hander. He could probably be the starter right behind Drake Fontenot, and he's going to be the guy to be that veteran there in the pitching rotation for the Coconuts.
This is a dude that was also a former golf caddy, by the way, which tells me one thing. He is willing to do whatever it takes to help you win.
Wow. Yeah, he took out a wood at his tryout. He's going to hit banana balls off the mound with a 9-iron.
I am really intrigued by him as a starting pitcher for the Loco Beach Coconuts, and I'm right there with you, Brett. I think that he was a day 1 talent for sure.
Will Etheridge off the board, which means that it's your Texas Tailgaters back on the board. Brett Loftus, and they're still deliberating. They've got a minute and a half to figure out where they go with their last pick of round 5.
Just goes to show, I think Etheridge may have been the next one on their board. They could have fully expected to grab that pick, and now you've got to erase the whiteboard and say, okay, who is it?
It's actually where I mocked him.
Right here at the
True story. I mean, I had him there in a couple of our mock drafts going to the Texas Tailgaters. I'm not shocked that they're taking a little bit longer here. I really thought they have to get an arm here.
If
Greg.
they
have to get an arm. Already 2 position players tonight. You have to get that 3rd arm to close out day 1 of the draft. You got to go arm. They're probably thinking Etheridge, now taking all 3 minutes here on this pick.
Zach Phillips is still here.
He still is. He still is.
If they wanted Etheridge, they wanted a righty. I love C.J. Williams. I had a lot of conversations. He was great as a visitor. I think C.J. Williams, if, again, you're going righty here, he's going to be a dog on the back end of the pen.
Here's my pushback to that. I also love C.J. Williams. You've already taken Reese Miller. And with John Reed, that's 3 back-end bullpen guys. You need another starter to pair along there with Christian Davis and with Chris Clark.
Connor Harris.
Connor Harris.
He's on the board.
I mean, Connor Harris profiles as a reliever or a starter. I think you really got to find that guy here who can profile either as a middle relief or as a starter, Talevsky.
Don't forget about Tristan Levesque.
That's what I was about to say.
He is such a great left-handed pitcher and a starter through and through.
Yeah, well, we'll see. The pick is officially in. which means the boys.
Not as much yelling this time.
No, I think
in the
that
zone.
was a tough one to deliberate.
Ooh.
And Mick, you want to talk about accessories?
Deep breaths here. He's winded. It's been a long night for Joe Mikola.
Banana beers.
For the night tonight, Mick, tonight.
You got 6 more tomorrow, buddy.
Mick, don't drink any of those beers, please.
Yeah, he's chafed. He's got that waddle coming up there.
Oh, Tailgater Nation, it's been great. It's been fun tonight with the 3rd pick of the 5th round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft. The Texas Tailgaters select Brett Sanchez, right-handed pitcher.
You bet. Another Brett here with the Texas Tailgaters, and I absolutely love it. Brett Sanchez, who was a visitor last year. He's a Division III guy from Louisiana. Played at Belhaven College. You bring him in here. We saw what he did in Louisville this year, where, I mean, he was special there in against the Bananas here in Savannah through 2 innings of scoreless baseball. Special summer. He had 2 appearances with the visitors, proving that a Division III guy can come play here in Banana Ball. Brett Carson, a Division III Brett last year, who was also a pitcher. Now another Division III arm in Brett Sanchez, who will profile as that Game 3 starter.
Love his delivery. Brett Sanchez is electric. And guess what? Mick didn't get to see him. He was a visitor who didn't play the Tailgaters. Mick's just taking the guy because of what he's heard from the other coaches, what he's seen from the film. Brett Sanchez is great. I have a day 2 guy. Again, things are getting a little wacky for me here in round 5. And for more, Mick, why did you do it?
To power the entire state of Texas tonight, but you went with a right-hander, a 3rd pitcher tonight. Why was he the right pick for the game?
My big thing is the strike thrower because he's a competitor. He's got a little experience pitching into the visitors last year, and we're just so excited. And we needed an arm, we needed a starter, and he's going to be able to start for us. I am so excited about this, man. This is a lot of energy that's going to flow through the state of Texas, and it's going to be rocking. I can't believe the picks that fell in our lap. And I'm going to tell you what, we're coming, Tailgater Nation. Get your seats, baby. It's coming.
Look, that might have been the last pick for the Tailgaters, but he's acting like he's not done, not at all. Guys, back to you.
I love the pick, and here's why else I love the pick. We talk about entertainment fits, culture fits. That's a big culture fit. We saw Brett Sanchez. He was with the visitors. They did some entertainment stuff in Houston. He came up to me. He said, "Hey, Brett, I'd love to be a Texas Tailgater." And now he is. And Mick also mentioned it. Throwing strikes, Josh Talevsky. That 2025 pitching staff, something they struggle with at times.
He had a 6-to-1 strikeout-to-walk ratio in college. By the way, he threw 27 complete games across college. One of 3 pitchers in Division III with over 400 strikeouts ever.
Yeah, one of the best in the history of Division III baseball. He's a Tailgater. Let's see who the Bananas go with here.
With the 4th pick of the 5th round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Savannah Bananas select Tristan Levesque, left-handed pitcher. Let's go, baby.
Well, there goes Tristan Levesque, another Grant Besser-esque type guy. So now they've got 2 5'10 lefties. This kid out of East Lyme, Connecticut, spent his entire college career at the University of Rhode Island, where he set the program record by starting 16 games this past year. So he's got a rubber arm. He's Rhode Island's leader in career starts all time with 52. He's also 2nd in Rhode Island history in wins, strikeouts, and in innings pitched as well. And he also actually kind of pitches like Neil Lang. A body like Grant Besser, pitches like Lang, early with the fastball, big bender.
This sucks if you're everybody else. The Savannah Bananas just got better.
This is a steal and a half for the Savannah Bananas.
I see the pick come in, and your heart just drops a little bit. You think, you add this guy to the Bananas' arms? I hate it for everybody else. As the Party Animals guy, I cannot be complimentary enough of Tyler Gilliam and company. They just got better.
You've got Nisnik, you've got Drury, you've got Levesque, you've got Besser, you've got a handful.
Cowboy Kyle.
But those are all the left-handed arms that the Savannah Bananas now have.
It's just Lewis
and
Hosley for righties.
It is unbelievable how they have stockpiled the left-handed pitching in this draft. And look, Tristan Levesque next season may allow ball force sprints less than 6 8% of the time. That will be one of the lowest rates in banana ball if he's at his very best.
4.13 strikeouts to walks across over 300 innings pitched in his college career. That is elite. And
is there anything bad you could say about the guy?
No,
Please,
not really.
Something.
I haven't found one yet. It's really impressive, the southpaws that Gillum and company have stockpiled.
But it is another southpaw off the board. That is not Zach Phillips,
Yeah.
who is a banana. So
Yeah,
that becomes even more interesting to me. Now, here come the Firefighters again. I think they probably need another arm here. They've gone back-to-back outfielders, utility players here. Do they go with a Zach Phillips? Because, again, very right-handed heavy. They've already taken Jared Donaldson on the night. Do they go there? Do they go maybe get an ultimate clubhouse guy in a guy like Javon Ray, who I know that team loves, the Firefighter fans love? Do they go get a guy like that?
Can't break him and Ron up. You can't break him and Ron up.
I don't think you
can't
want to.
do it.
I don't know that I want to. Let's see if Val does.
With the 5th pick of the 5th round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Firefighters select Javon G-Baby Ray.
Ladies and gentlemen,
fun. We play banana ball. You know what's going on tonight. Tonight.
I didn't like any of
If
that.
you know that song, it is because of guys like Javon Ray and Ron Franklin at like 3 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast. They came up with the song while watching the BET Awards, and Snoop Dogg made an appearance. G-Ray, Ron Franklin back together. You see the potential with Javon Ray. He's young, he's athletic, stand out at Georgia Southern this year. Some ups and some downs. I thought he had a really good outing in Seattle to close out his season. Didn't give up a point or a run. Was able to do a couple of different things entertainment-wise. He felt good going out of the Pacific Northwest. Him coming back is the ultimate clubhouse move here for Val Perez and company to bring back G-Ray. I call him MCG. We call him a firefighter still, boys.
Yeah, obviously, elite clubhouse guy. You can't break him and Hot Boy Ron up. I got a first-person experience of the Banana Ball performance across multiple party plazas, San Diego, Seattle. I mean, it lights the place up, but you can't knock the stuff either. He threw a changeup to Kyle Jackson that he swung and missed on that KJ said was the best changeup he's seen in his entire life. Javon Ray, high-velocity guy, too. There's a reason why he started his college career at Tennessee and was fantastic at Georgia Southern after that.
And the one thing you love about him, too, is the athleticism, and he showed that not just on the mound. If you absolutely need him in a pinch, he can literally pinch run for you. He did that in Denver and actually scored a run as a pinch runner. It just shows you there's so much potential when it comes to Baby G.
You guys hear it? They're playing it here in Grayson Stadium
I'm
right now.
vibing right
I had
now,
to stop dancing for the
Did
last
not
2
know
minutes,
this was a
guys.
thing.
That's crazy.
I am
You've been
ashamed
living
of
under
you.
a
Been
rock,
living under a-
Drake.
yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Get off the stage, Drake. All right, let's talk about these draft rooms again, because I think we have another submission somewhere out in the continental United States. Yeah, that's Dane Toftland, another really talented guy. I mean, I love the way they have designed this thing. We've only got 3 picks left here on night 1 of the draft. I really thought Dane Toftland was a day 1 guy, as we've said about a lot of these guys who we thought would be day 1. They're going to be really quick off the board tomorrow if they don't go tonight.
Archer to Philly to Jacobo to the myriad Nate Tellier who haven't gone yet on day 1. Where does Vava go here? Likely with another party animal, but one of those guys won't come off the board today, likely tomorrow.
Is it Fluke?
I hope.
With the 6th pick of the 5th round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Party Animals select Nate Tellier, right-handed pitcher.
Love this from Mike Vivacis. Again, you're going in and you're getting a guy who many people thought early day 2. Vava says, nope, I want to lock in the black and pink who just won us a ring. Telly, 6 foot, 200-pounder, Massachusetts kid who walked in throwing heat. He was maybe the most impressive, one of the most impressive, certainly arms during prime season, just given the pop. That ball comes out of his hand quickly. He was effective for the Animals out of the bullpen. He was a piece that helped you get to the championship game. I think this is a safe pick, and safe is a great word when you're at the top of the sport.
We're talking about a former Red Sox farmhand here, right? I mean, this guy was really good in Greenville back in 2024. And Talevsky, I know you got the projection models. What does it project for Telly here in year 2 in Banana Ball?
I mean, he's going to get better so long as his control is remaining elite, and that's definitely where he improved across the 2025 tour. Had an earned run average below 3 on the final 2 months, became a big setup man with Peter Holden. They led the way to Drew Gillespie in a lot of ball games. I mean, I thought that he could possibly close on another Banana Ball team, but this is a great grab by the Party Animals, and he'll know his role.
Yeah, I think you're still looking at a Sal Jacobo, Bronson Ballholm, a couple of these names that have not gone off. Sean Fluke, that have not gone off the board for the Animals, who could still be day 2 picks for these guys. They need kind of that all-around infield. They need a couple more arms here. Interested to see what Vaba does tomorrow. Expect it to be a lot of Party Animal.
If other teams do not interfere, I think all those guys are black, or back in the black and pink, rather. None of them are. None of them are the former. Let's go back to the stage. We've got Coach Crocco making his final pick of the night.
With the 7th pick of the 5th round of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Loco Beach Coconuts select Andy Archer, right-handed pitcher.
Big Arch is off the board. The fit makes too much sense when you want to talk about vibe. A guy who spent 6 years at Georgia Tech and then finished up with a year at the University of Hawaii. He was living out there when we brought him back to the continental United States to pitch for the Bananas in 2024. The Mantis, a Teammate of the Year award winner at Georgia Tech, his final year there, and his 5.4 ball force sprint percentage this year in Banana Ball was 4th best, only behind 3 All-Stars. That would be Helton, Dumb, and Gillespie.
I mean, if not for 11 home runs allowed in 2025, I think you would have seen an even better earned run average from Andy Archer this past season. He told the coaches what he was going to do was improve on his strike throwing. Entering the 2025 tour, he did just that. Impressive strike throwing ability, and I think there's still a lot of upside with Andy Archer. Hopefully he gets to command his heaters even more with the Loco Beach Coconuts and keep working on improving his breaking balls, his slider, and his split change.
Josh, the big thing here, too, is, I mean, this was your best fit for the Coconuts from just the vibe perspective. I mean, he was a guy that lived in Hawaii, not to be confused, not a native of Hawaii, from Atlanta, Georgia, but did spend some time there both collegiately and is still going back there in the offseason. It just makes so much sense from a culture standpoint for Andy Archer to be a Coconut.
At Georgia Tech, they called him the Truth. And he remains in Banana Ball with the Coconuts as a leader. And what I love is that he's going to lead a clubhouse with Austin Krasminski and a bunch of new guys. It's 2 Savannah Bananas, Krem, and now off the board Andy Archer, who get to lead a brand new team. I think they'll do it well.
And that's what you really want to see in Banana Ball with more and more expansion franchises. You want to see veteran guys become leaders in the clubhouse. You obviously want it from your coaching staff, but it is really cool to see players evolve as leaders.
The final pick of night 1 here of this draft is in. Josh, I would love to know your best available before we find out from Eric Fox who it is.
I feel like I sound like a broken record right now, gentlemen. Zach Phillips is still on the board, your best available pitcher, best talent whatsoever. C.J. Williams also there, a strong right-handed pitcher. T.J. Reeves and Grady Morgan, a pair of talented outfielders. We'll see if one of them winds up a clown here.
With the final pick of the first day of the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, the Indianapolis Clowns select Joe Lytle, catcher.
And the Clowns grab a backstop in Joe Lytle, one of the most athletic catchers available out of all of the backstops here in Banana Ball. Lytle, not necessarily a guy who's going to have a hot start to a season, but he will end the second half of the tour as good as anybody. And the Clowns clearly trust in him and his game-calling abilities.
In the last 2 months of the season, he was above 400 for the Firefighters. The guy who led off showdowns was Joe Lytle because as the year went on, he had great speed. He's a guy that brings you personality, brings you Banana Ball experience. There were a lot of questions on whether or not teams would want to take him early on if you're not going to be an everyday catcher, but for the Clowns, he can fill so many different roles. If you need him to catch every day, he can. He can be a great designated or extra hitter. The Mullet Man is coming to a circus near you.
And you looked at it, Coconuts have already taken 2 catchers tonight.
Yep.
Clowns with 10 picks this evening. They needed to end tonight with at least 1 backstop. I love the pick to close out night 1.
They couldn't afford not to take a catcher at this point because as those start going off the board, it's maybe the most top-heavy position group. On top of that, a lot of the catchers you see in our draft are dual guys. They'll play a little first base, maybe a little third base. Getting a Joe Lytle who can play first, but primarily catcher, such a strong pick. The Clowns needed that.
And this just shows, too, the importance of the franchise picks as well. The Firefighters did not want to give up Joe Lytle, but the numbers game played into into effect here,
Yep.
and now he's going to be playing against him multiple times a year with the Indianapolis Clowns.
Right, they already had 2 catchers with Zachary Bridges and Dalton Cornett, and now Joe Lytle, who is definitely the best available catcher on the board, is off the board. He wraps up night 1. Let's take a look at the entirety of our final round tonight. It started with Andrew Irvine, a guy who we thought would be really an early-on guy tonight. That was a steal for the Clowns. Then Will Etheridge, same goes for him. To the Coconuts, Brett Sanchez, one of the best pitchers in the history of Division III baseball. To the Tailgaters, Tristan Levesque, as the war chest of lefties just gets better for the Savannah Bananas. Javon Ray, a reunion with the Firefighters, the clubhouse. Absolutely elated, I can promise you that.
It's
Nate
electric in
Tellier,
there.
the same goes for the Party Animals, as it was all Party Animals for Mike Vivacis here tonight. And then Andy Archer from the Bananas to the Loco Beach Coconuts, a vibe we did completely get. If he did not go back to the Bananas, we figured Crocco would grab him. And then Joe Lytle off the board to wrap this thing up tonight.
Yeah, pitchers and catchers reign supreme here in the final round. 7 pitchers taken in this draft. And guys, the top 4 catchers on my big board all taken here on day 1. And to get a full recap of what we've seen tonight, we'll send it over to Sam with the man in the yellow tux, Jesse Cole.
Yes, thank you so much, Josh. There is really so many things we could talk about here, Jesse, but I want to start at the very beginning. We are known for surprises here in Banana Land. You surprised, I think, every single person here with what we saw happen with the first overall pick, Jackie Bradley Jr. Jesse, what?
Well, he's a special person, and obviously we got to get connected with him this past year at Fenway, and got to be around him and his family, and just how authentic, genuine. I mean, he's a fans first person through and through. And so, the conversations, the idea started back then, and we didn't know it could happen. There was a lot going on, and we told the coaches yesterday, and the reaction was wow. And I'll tell you, it is a testament to this game, a testament to Jackie believing in this, and what a surprise. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it big. And so we wanted the broadcasters to be surprised. We wanted them not to know what's going to happen, and because I think that's how we like to do things. We like to keep people on their toes. You never know what's going to happen, and I think he's an unbelievable person to be joining Banana Ball now and set the tone for what this league's going to be all about.
Now, sure, it started big, Jesse, but what impressed me, even on the inside, is it stayed at a high level when we saw what is something that is brand new for Banana Ball in this draft. It's announced. There's excitement. There's nervousness for people out here. You see how it plays out, how the different teams unfold stuff. I mean, you can't explain this, right?
Well, there was a lot of question marks going into this, and anytime we do something the first time, there's going to be question marks, and I think a lot of people don't like change, but the reality is you look at how the teams were formed, and you look at starting with the champion Party Animals, and Vava says, I'm bringing my guys back, and it's a testament. He said, we can still make things happen. And then you've got, the Firefighters saying, I'm taking some of the best players, the returning players, and putting them a part of my team. It was so fun to watch, and then, it can't go unnoticed, the work that Barry Aldridge has done, and he behind the scenes with the recruiting. These are some of the most talented and entertaining. You're talking second-round picks. You're talking guys up in AAA. I mean, the level of ball is at the highest it'll ever be at, and all these guys understand that the fans come first. We're going to entertain. We're going to put on a show. It is unbelievable how far this game has come in the last few years, and boy, what a night to set the tone for 2026.
Jesse, some amazing names, amazing talent on the list like you talked to. But something that we talked about during the selection show was the inclusion of women, especially with the Indianapolis Clowns. It's such a big part of what they did back then, and it has been a big part of Banana Ball. So where were the ladies tonight, Jesse?
We have certainly been having a lot of conversations with some amazing women, and obviously the players who have been with us the last few years, from Kelsey Whitmore going back to Jocelyn Allo and Ashton Lansdowne and Val, and it's unbelievable the talent level that they have brought, and they all want to be a part of this. But what I'm so proud is that there's been a women's professional baseball league built just for them, and that is such an opportunity, and so we're supporting them with that, and however that works out, whatever that schedule is, we're going to hopefully get them to be a part of this in between or after. And so I just stay tuned for some announcement, because there's going to be some amazing women a part of this. And again, that's what made the Indianapolis Crowns great, with Tony Stone and Connie Morgan and Mammy Peanut Johnson. I think that's what's made, I know them, all right? I've studied the Clowns, but I think that's what's made Banana Ball great, is that anybody can come out and create moments and be successful, and we can inspire, whether it's young girls or young boys or anyone, to be a part of this. And I think that's what the Clowns are doing and what Banana Ball's doing. So there will be women in Banana Ball. Just stay tuned.
Jesse, finally here, it's not even 2026, but an event like this, a moment like this, a historic moment for Banana Ball as a whole. How does this set the tone for where we are driving this thing?
I'll tell you, this is one of the most special moments I've been a part of in our 10 years here. And over the last 2 hours, I got a chance to FaceTime a lot of the guys that got drafted, and to see them getting emotional and see them with their friends and family and guys with 60+ people and what this means to them. And the fact that we're able to create that for these players and to know how much they care about it only shows what they're going to bring to the fans, bring to their teammates, bring to this game of banana ball. And to see what's happened tonight, I couldn't be more excited and fired up for where this game is going. It is just the start. We're always in the first inning, and I'll tell you, tonight is one that's not going to be forgotten for a long time. And we're not even halfway through the draft. We got tomorrow for a lot more guys, a lot more people to get a chance to make a huge impact, a lot more newcomers and a lot more returning players to get called, entertaining players, all of that. And so to be able to, for these guys to say, you made my dream come true, it's, I never imagined we could do that. And I think a lot of these guys, they're making our fans, their dreams come true and everything, the joy they're bringing, it's going to be an unbelievable 2026, and the tone was just set right now.
Well, we're looking forward to it, Jesse. As always, an incredible night one so far. I know the guys got so much more to talk about night one, and of course, we still got day 2 coming up, guys.
Thank you, SB. It is always such a treat to hear Jesse Cole's thoughts on a momentous night in Banana Ball. Here are the 40 players who were drafted in the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft. Night 1, a reminder, if you do not see your favorite player here, do not fret. 48 guys will be drafted tomorrow. Keep it locked to Banana Ball social media to see those rounds disseminated out to the public as they happen. A star-studded draft here from start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, it was an incredible night. I mean, unreal. Just unreal night. A lot of surprises, which don't worry, we'll get to all of those. I was surprised, though, and pleasantly surprised with how much talent there was filled in each of the 5 rounds, Josh Zalewski. We looked at your big board the whole week, and you just had to go, probably after round 3, there's going to be some guys that are, good picks, but they deserve to go in the middle rounds. Jordan Brewer doesn't go until the 4th round, and that's just one name to pick out. Zach Phillips is still there. There's so many names that went later tonight, and we'll go later in the draft, that I was pleasantly surprised by.
I think that's my biggest takeaway, Brett, is just the level of talent that's already here and still to come. It just shows how much this sport has grown from where we were to where we are now.
I love the watch parties. There are guys, for a sport that was invented a handful of years ago, that are having watch parties across the country right now to see if their name's picked. And I want the message to come across very clearly. If you had a watch party tonight, if you're still sitting at home across the country wondering, will my name be called tomorrow? This is the fuel. This is where the story starts. This is where the guy in the 9th, the 10th, the 11th round that next year wins Rookie of the Year, that's an all-star Banana Ball next season. Your story in our sport started tonight. You look around your draft room, your family that's with you, this is where it begins. This is where you become a star, utilizing this evening and hearing your name tomorrow.
And these players are either fitting team needs for the existing Banana Ball teams, or they're helping start an expansion franchise in Banana Ball. So this was an overall incredible night. Very cool to see every team's process unveiled tonight. All right, quickly here, I want to go to you, Brett. What was your biggest surprise of the night?
I'm sorry, it's a softball, guys. I'm going to steal it from the rest of you. It's the one that surprised the world. Yeah. It's Jackie Bradley Jr.
Us included.
Going first overall. Jesse is not wrong. We had no idea. You seen the video on Banana Ball earlier. We all picked somebody else, whether it was Bobby Leday or Correll Prime or Eric Jones Jr. No, it was World Series champion, Red Sox legend, South Carolina legend. He's going to be here in Banana Ball next year, and he went 1.1 to the Clowns, shocked the world.
Yeah, good luck following that up, Zach.
Well, I don't know that I can. He just scared the you-know-what out of me. I'm still having an out-of-body experience from JBJ. I'm a little surprised about the amount of bananas that did not get back to go to the Bananas. Only one guy is returning, and that's Cowboy Kyle. They went with an infusion of new blood into that staff, into that roster. Little surprised that we did not see a lot of bananas go back to the yellow.
Yeah, I'm surprised with the 3 left-handed pitchers the Savannah Bananas took. When they come and play the Party Animals, who have a lot of lefty bats, that is dangerous. The Bananas got a lot better tonight.
Yeah, I'm surprised by Kyle Allen going to the Texas Tailgaters. Unbelievable bat. He is surely going to make that lineup better. They said he was going to play outfield. I think he's a pretty true first baseman. We'll see how they handle having that kind of guy in their lineup and what they want to do with him defensively. All right, I'd love to get team-specific here. Brett, your day 1 overall thoughts for the Texas Tailgaters, and if you're feeling spicy, a grade for them.
Man, I'm pumped. I didn't think the draft could be this good. Chris Clark, whole time, it wasn't a secret that he was going to go first pick for the Tailgaters at their 3 overall. Jordan Barth in the 2nd round, Reese Miller, love both of those. You mentioned it, Josh. Kyle Martin to fall to the 4th round. I had a 2nd round grade on him. We get him in the 4th, and then Brett Sanchez, you get your game 3 starter. I don't give out A's. I'm a pretty hard grader. I'm giving out an A to Joe Michelet and his coaching staff tonight.
I love it. Josh, what do you think about the Bananas?
You know, I don't really like mincing my words around here, but the Bananas honestly nailed their draft. They got a plethora of lefties. They filled needs in the rotation, in the bullpen as well. They got the homecoming with Cowboy Kyle Lewis coming back to pitch another season in the yellow. And then Max Young-Goldberg, huge bat, big thumper. The Bananas believe that he'll be a consistent force in that lineup. I'm going to give them a solid A here.
Zach, what do you think about the Firefighters?
E for experienced. I'm going with an A. You go immediately with Eric Jones Jr., who fills a massive need at first base, can be a backup catcher for you. We were singing Banana Ball earlier. I'm going to sing Mr. Jones all the way home tonight. You get Jared Donaldson to shore up the bullpen. Then you go with a couple new faces in Armando Becerra, Lamar Sparks in the outfield, and you wrap it up with the ultimate clubhouse guy. I got an A.
Drake, you know what the task is.
Yeah, I give the Party Animals an L or an M, whatever's in the very middle of the alphabet. They went down the middle of the road here. It's exactly what you needed to do. Go down easy street. Get your guys. 5 players off the board that are all 5 Party Animals from last year. They each have rings. They're champions in this sport. Just retain the nucleus that you have. I was of the mind, if the Party Animals are able to go into this draft and in 11 rounds get 6, 7 guys back from last year, you win.
Yeah, well, they are on a good pace in that regard. We've talked about the returning teams. I would love to chop it up about the squads who came in with a completely blank slate, starting with the first overall, drafting Indianapolis Clowns. And you talked about it, Brett. I mean, it's tough to go wrong when you start with Jackie Bradley Jr.
You start with Jackie Bradley Jr., and then the Clowns took my 3 favorite guys in the entire draft. I love Correll Prime as a human being, and then my 2 favorite players, Bobby Leday, who I had going first overall, and then my favorite pitcher in David Griffin. They absolutely killed this draft, and then to pick up Joe Lytle late there, Zach.
I was about to say, Joe Lytle is a massive steal, I think, for the Clowns at 40. Experienced bat, hot bat at the end. Also really like Joe Gray addition. I think that's underrated there at 31. I think that'll be a good one for the Clowns. Really like what they did.
All right, let's turn our focus to the Loco Beach Coconuts. Josh, how do you feel about what the other new team in Banana Land did here tonight?
I mean, it seems like Crocco nailed most of his picks in tonight's draft. He got reunions with a lot of the visitors that he was coaching in 2025. And what's really important to remember, not only do you need good talent to win games in both baseball and banana ball, but you need great culture. And it feels like Crocco got a bunch of great culture guys that he's going to trust.
Yeah, I mean, Drake Fontenot, #1 right-handed pitcher, yours. Tanner Allen, my #1 outfielder, SEC Player of the Year, yours. Ashby Vining, the second best catcher, he is yours. I'm looking at this. Jordan Brewer, maybe the first best first baseman on some draft boards, is yours late. The Coconuts look incredible top to bottom. Blown away with what Crocco did in the mixture of visitors, brand new guys, Savannah Bananas. This team is loaded.
Yeah, and not just Tanner Allen, your #1 outfielder, but Ben Parker, Josh's #1 outfielder. So that's really impressive. All right, quickly, who had the better draft? Let's start with you, Brett.
I'm sorry, it's pretty obvious for me. I got to go with the team that got my 3 favorite players and the first ever former big leaguer as a full-time banana baller, the Indianapolis Clowns.
I'll go different. I'll go the Coconuts because I really like the Ben Parker pick up in the first round as your 7th pick. I'll go Coconuts.
You snuck Leday in at pick #3 on your board. I've got the Clowns, no doubt here.
I think the Coconuts are going to be a more entertaining banana ball team in 2026. I love Ben Parker. Again, I cannot preach the culture aspect of that enough, and that's why I'm going with the Coconuts.
Someone's got to break the tie. I'm going to go with the Clowns. I think Crocco did exactly what he wanted for the Coconuts, but it starts with Jackie Bradley Jr., and then they get the 2 guys who I thought were the only 2 obvious picks, #1 overall in Leday and Prime. They get them at the end of the first and then the beginning of the second. Like, how can I knock that?
Now, if you take Jackie Bradley Jr. out, it makes it a little more fair.
Yeah, I mean,
still A nights for both of those teams.
Yes.
Though.
Right.
A nights for both of those teams.
All right, let's talk about what's happening tomorrow. As we've said tonight, you want to keep it locked to Banana Ball social media, especially Instagram and Twitter, because the draft will be going on, and once a round is complete, our marketing team is going to whoop up a graphic, and they are going to send it out to the world. So we have 6 rounds to go tomorrow. It's going to be exactly the same as they went tonight, and there's still a lot of really, really talented guys on the board, Josh.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised at the guys who have fallen to be day 2 selections, but we'll start with the infielders, and it's Eli Patton, who is still the best available infielder on the board tonight. He is, again, the best true third baseman that I think we have available in this pool, and the Clowns and Coconuts are still going to be searching for that tomorrow. I think he will be a rather early selection.
Yeah, this is a guy who crushed in the Pioneer League last year, a 330, 434, 557 slash 49 runs plus RBIs in 31 games played. You absolutely love it. How about the best outfielder still available?
If I may, I think TJ Reeves would have been the next one on my board just outside of my top 5. He should go pretty quickly tomorrow. I want to reemphasize, the coaches will all meet in specific rooms, specific areas. They will deliberate at length tomorrow, come to a podium, make a pick. This will be even tougher than day 1 was. That behind closed doors should see TJ Reeves very early on. Super impressive in his tryout SEC pedigree as well.
He played for the Party Animals in 2023. Maybe it's one of those odd reunions that they make happen, and it was across that 9-game winning streak in 2023. You saw Reeves help them claim that 2023 World Tour, and he's consistent. That's why I think he'll go pretty high.
Can I reserve him for the Party Animals, please?
Yeah.
Another outfielder.
Sure. Good luck with that, Drake. Zach, your best catcher available?
I mean, probably not, by the way, Drake. He's not a former party animal, but let's go.
He is.
He is actually a former party animal. Yes, he is.
Party animal.
Information. There you go.
Triple 3 runs driven in.
We saw a run on catchers tonight, 4. We weren't sure we were going to get past 2 or 3. Easton Parrish, you just talked about consistency. 3 straight years of at least 48 hits at St. Mary's University down in Texas. He's somebody, he's youthful, he's young. You put him behind someone like Joe Lytle, I think that could be someone that could be really, really nice to learn how to be in banana ball. Could also play in the infield, too.
You just saw it right there. Mean first baseman as well. He would kind of play that backup catcher role. I like that a lot.
24 years old, a 288 batting average, 877 OPS in college, 13 home runs in his final season. He certainly belongs in banana ball with that bat.
Talevsky, can't talk catchers without pitchers, and there's a big name still here on the board. It's Zach Phillips. Zach, I know you're watching, and I want to send this message personally to you. I don't know how you're still on the board. I mean, a lefty who was tied for the MPI King this past year in banana ball, a 312 MPI tied with Ben Dum III, a banana ball veteran, a veteran of minor league baseball. I don't know. I mean, again, great drafts all around tonight. I don't know how you make it through 5 rounds, and he's still there, Josh Talevsky.
Josh, am I allowed to have him, please?
I mean, you guys can try tomorrow, and I think it would be a great decision by Bavesis, knowing how much he loves lefties in the bullpen. What shouldn't be forgotten with Philly, 27 career, sub-2-minute innings. That is the 3rd most all-time in banana ball. You cannot forget about the speed aspect of this game.
And lives with 3 party animals, so I don't think there's any question that he will fit in very well in that locker room if Mike Vavesis and company can snag him tomorrow. I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Thank you, guys.
Does tonight have to end? This was,
I mean,
we've been a part of a lot of historic moments,
take.
from Fenway to the selection show to this. I mean, I've got a different feeling than I've ever felt about banana ball. This was incredible.
Full body chills?
Full
body chills.
Chills.
And it is a little chilly, but not because of that. Not because of that.
Yeah, I wish I wore 2 pairs of socks tonight, but you know what? Rookie mistake from a veteran broadcaster. I'll wear 2 pairs next year. Thank you so much, Brett Loftus, Zach Staten, Drake Toll, Josh Talevsky. Thank you to Sam Bauman and Rex Castillo as well, and Jesse Cole for sharing his insight at the end of this whole thing. Tomorrow, 6 rounds to go. It will be 48 picks. That will wrap up the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft. Thank you all so much for spending the night with us here on the Banana Ball YouTube channel. I am Biko Scala, for now, saying, see you!